Kelly and receiver Zach Pascal after they came into close contact with the team's staff member who tested positive. This was supposed to be a big week for Wentz and his recovery from foot surgery. He is hoping to play in week 1. Patriots coach Bill Belichick still not ready to tip his hand whether Cam Newton or Mac Jones will be his starting quarterback week 1. His answer to QB questions today: they'll do what's in the best interests of the team. If Jones starts, New England becomes one of the AFC's elites, believes ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
It's about ball distribution at the quarterback. It's about ownership at the line of scrimmage. It's about being completion driven. It's about playing a disciplined style of football for 4 quarters over the course of a 16 or now 17 game season. That's exactly who Mac Jones is as a quarterback. He's the best quarterback on the team now.
The Saints back at work today at their temporary home in Arlington, Texas, after the devastating effects of Hurricane Ida on southern Louisiana. The status of their September 12th home opener against the Packers is not yet known. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg reporting Saturday's Oklahoma-Tulane game will not be played in New Orleans because of the aftermath of Ida. There are contingency plans to play the game at second-ranked Oklahoma.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Oh, Sunshine and Rainbows Club?
Better believe it,
Gonna
man.
have some big-time membership coming up over the next couple of weeks. We did the ultimate yesterday here in Jacksonville. Had a good performance to sit on for 2 weeks going into the regular season. The alternative would not have been as good.
No. Either way, we got a lot to talk about, so I like it.
I did too. That was fun. That was a nice performance. Everybody needed to see it. Yeah, it's against Dallas, and Dallas wasn't playing anybody. And, well, the Jags were hardly playing anybody, and it doesn't mean that much based off it's a preseason game, but it was nice to see. Mm-hmm. So that's the reality of it. And, man, I tell you what, Trevor looked good.
Oh, yeah.
And when you got all the headlines around the country, Lawrence brilliant against the Cowboys, you have things like that. That's a nice little narrative to have. In a busy week across the country for the Jacksonville Jaguars, it went from nationally televised game poor performance on Monday in New Orleans to ETN being out, which was a headline story, which was unfortunate, to Trevor Lawrence getting named the starting quarterback on Wednesday, to Gardner Minshew being traded on Saturday, and then to a very nice performance for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags on offense on Sunday against obviously a very well-known team across the league in the Dallas Cowboys. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey, hope you had a good weekend, man. That was fun, though, wasn't it?
Fantastic weekend, yeah. And obviously, you know, if you're the Jaguars, you end the preseason on a fantastic note. Now there's hope. Now there's intrigue. People buying their Super Bowl tickets, all that stuff. But it's good. It was well needed, especially from Trevor Lawrence's perspective, where you need to get that guy some confidence. And I think you got that guy some confidence and then some.
Yeah, I think so, too. They did a nice job, you know, in terms of getting him comfortable in the shotgun, right, getting the ball out of his hands.
And this was an interesting thing that I picked up on the game, and we can break it down later. But I wonder, compared to the first 2 games, how much Urban Meyer had a role on this offense. Because if you look back to see what kind of offenses Darrell Bevell runs, if you listen to some quotes that he said back the day with the Lions, what they did against Dallas kind of goes against what Darrell Bevell believes in. And it's kind of more Urban Meyer-esque. Now, once again, you weren't playing all your starters. Your offensive line was kind of in shambles, so you had a bunch of backups there. So you wanted everything in your power to get Trevor Lawrence set to get him ready to roll. But I remember this is the same team that had the head coach a couple weeks ago that said, we have to run the ball. We have to run the ball. Well, when you start from shotgun and you go empty, there's not a lot of ball running going on. And when you have an offensive coordinator who was once quoted saying, we're not going to be and this isn't with the Jaguars, with the Lions, we're not going to be a team that spreads things out. We're going to run first, pass second. That kind of went against what Bevell, at least in the past, has showed. I wonder if this was Urban Meyer's coming out party in terms of, hey, we got to change things up a little bit. Let's get Trevor Lawrence some more confidence. Let's spread things out because our 4 or 5 receivers out wide are better than Dallas's 5 cornerbacks.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what you say as a defensive guy noticing what they're doing, and it looked different than the first 2 weeks. And so I wonder if that keeps Houston guessing a little bit. Like, is this what we're going to see a little bit more of? Is that what we're going to see a little bit more of? What about James Robinson? How much of this was done because 5 out of the 6 offensive linemen were out, 5 out of their 6 guys, and just Jawan Taylor was a starter? And, you know, to the point of Urban told us this in production meeting on Friday, but you could tell that he revisited and really thought hard about it on Saturday of playing Trevor Lawrence behind that offensive line. We talked about this a lot on Friday. They only had, 4 starters. I wasn't sure James O'Shaughnessy was going to play. He did, so that added another one. But without 4 offensive linemen, without DJ Chark, without Marvin Jones, was that a good situation to put Trevor Lawrence in? Well, sigh of relief. He doesn't get hurt. Nothing happens. They look good. Mission accomplished. And, well, everything worked out okay, But he thought about it now and just thought he needed to get him reps. So what will this look like? How much was that to protect Trevor from not getting hit, getting the ball out? How much of that was, hey, that seemed to work. We're going to use that,
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, though, and here's the catch-22 about that. It worked for Trevor Lawrence. Now, in the run game you saw yesterday with James Robinson, essentially, it didn't work that well. Right now, when people think of James Robinson, they think of, all right, this guy's a downhill back. Let's get the quarterback under center. But if you watch the James Robinson highlight film from last year, spoiler alert, I did, he actually, in the beginning of the season, it was all under center. Right? Because it was apparent what they want to do. You want to run with James Robinson first. Doug Marrone was a big fan of him, and then you pass second. But if you go later on towards the season, when they're getting blown out and you had the threat of Gardner Minshew or Jake Luton, whoever it was, passing, well, then all of a sudden you saw a team that they were out of the shotgun. And James Robinson was running out of the shotgun and having success with it. So to me, it comes down to once you play week 1 against Houston, can you threaten the pass enough? And can the Houston Texans take Trevor Lawrence serious enough where you can set up some of that running game out of the shotgun? I'm not sure if you can or not yet, but I'm very curious to see how Houston's going to handle the Jaguars offense.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way he throws the football, I think, is a threat enough in the passing game. I mean, you saw some of it yesterday. Some of it was easy, but some of it also, it's just I try to tell folks this. I mean, dart comes to mind. That's a good word because what do we think about when we think about a dart? It leaves somebody's hands and boop, right there, right? And it sticks to the board. Well, that's kind of what it looks like. And I only get this a couple times a year to be able to down on the field on the sidelines and see it from that vantage point. And, man, you can hear it. You can see it. And a couple of those short 8-yard passes, the 12-yard hit is just boom. Like, I feel like I could catch it because it would get stuck in my belly. I mean, it is delivered just like that. I mean, so that looks different. And to me, Austin, that's enough of a threat. You got a guy that can really throw it. And then the down the field pass obviously was a brilliant one that he threw. And the beautiful touchdown to Laviska Shenault, perfect placement. I mean, I would say that's a throw that you got to be able to make as an NFL QB. But again, I mean, Jacksonville, that's been a question mark at times. He made that throw look easy. So I think there is a threat of the passing game. Now, what you want to do around that, I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to figure it out. Can you show both? Can you mix it up? Do you have to commit to one or the other in terms of, be a little bit of that spread and RPO and get the ball out, and then can you go transition back into, all right, get under center, throw it downhill a little bit, be more traditional? Can you show both in a game plan, or do you kind of have to attack it one way or another?
See, you can show both, but in the first 2 preseason games when Trevor Lawrence has been under center, now he's had some of the best throws of his preseason because guys are chasing after him, and he makes those dart throws as you alluded to, but at the same time, he's also had some of his worst throws when he's under center, when he's getting chased, just because the timing is a little different and you can't see as much if you're not in the shotgun. So to me, what it comes down to is if you're going to Houston week 1, what gives Trevor Lawrence the most confidence? That's what I'm worried about right now.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about what this offense looks like in terms of, is it 50-50 run pass? What is that personnel going to be like? I'm worried about getting Trevor Lawrence the most confidence possible to go out there and win a game. And from what I saw against the Cowboys, it was out of the shotgun. So if you have to run a lot more RPO, there's a caveat to that. That means that if you do that, well, then that's going to increase the risk of Trevor Lawrence being able to run as well. Right? Because the only way to keep the defense on their heels is if there's a threat to take off. That's what Minshew ran a little bit towards the middle and the end of last season. So there is going to be that threat there. You are opening yourself up to get a couple quarterback hits every once in a while. But if I was Urban Meyer right now, if I was Darrell Bevel, I would take a long look at going out of the shotgun a lot more just because it seemed to be the most comfortable. It seemed to have the most rhythm. I'm not sure how much you can count against, the Dallas 3s and 4s or whatever in the secondary helping you out as well. But just from a tactical standpoint, I think Trevor looked the most poised and the most just on point when he was out of the shotgun.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think that was a comfort zone for him, and that was a good job. But I think, again, it had a couple of different effects. What I don't know is if it had a third. I think it had the effect of getting Trevor comfortable, getting him in a rhythm. I think it had the effect of, hey, we don't want to get him hit. He got hit the one time on a roughing the passer, but let's get it out of his hands so we can protect him and get him to the regular season. But I don't know if the third one is, hey, this is going to be a little bit more sampling of what we plan to do. So let's showcase a little bit of this. Let's practice this because this is what we are going to be. We're guessing a little bit. So what will they do? How will they do it? And let's be honest, James Robinson, you certainly need to have involved, want to have involved. You've got to be able to run the ball, as you always say. But the bottom line is the number one goal of this for the offense is get number 16 comfortable. Do what he likes. Everybody else is going to have to adjust a little bit around that quarterback, most likely. So be fascinating to see what the Jacksonville Jaguars decide to do. I will say this about Trevor, and I think Urban said this, but I think we've even talked about it last week. Trevor, even though the offense was bad in the first 2 weeks, and it didn't look good, and it was a lot of production and no touchdowns, Trevor didn't look bad. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great. But he wasn't bad. There were some signs, and then there were some, they couldn't score.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he looked great.
Of course.
So I just like the totality of it wasn't like, hey, looked bad, looked good. I think in the totality of it overall, you feel pretty good about where Trevor is, and now he feels good about himself. The offense feels pretty good about themselves. You add that all up, and I think there should be some expectation going into week one, and there should be a lot of people on the train of Trevor across the country here in Jacksonville, whatever it might be, that this guy is the real deal, everything they thought he was going to be. I still feel that way coming out of August, and that's a good feeling to have.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the first game against the Browns, we saw the good, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is kind of what we expected his first game. Okay, let's see how he transpires from there. You go to New Orleans, and it's like, is that? I mean, and this is my opinion, but I think a lot of people shared my sentiments here, where it's like, that's it. We put you on such a pedestal, and we expected a little more, and then the game in Dallas. It kind of sealed the deal. It was like, okay, there he is. There's the first pick of the draft. That's what we were expecting, and hopefully they can carry that on from there.
And so the big part of this now is you get guys feeling good. I like the fact that Trevor and Urban and everybody else admitted, listen, that was a Dallas team that wasn't showing much, and that's fair. You got to acknowledge that. But if you can't do it against vanilla defenses and third and fourth teamers, well, then it's a real big worry, right? So at least you can cross that off. And the other thing is, outside of ETN, it appears now, unless there's something else that lingers, but Kim Robinson was actually going to play in that game until right before the kick. He was ready to go. He worked out like he was going to play. He was not inactive. They'll have A.J. Cann back, I would think, by 2 weeks off the COVID list. Brandon Linder, I think, should be ready to go. Andrew Norwell hasn't played at all in the preseason. So their offensive line should be back. He's had an elbow injury, but he should be back. And then on pace to get DJ Chark and Marvin Jones back for the regular season. Outside of ETN, my point being on offense, everything that you kind of thought you would have, you do have. Now, ETN to me is a big deal, but you never know how you're going to come out of the preseason injury-wise. And I think overall, outside of ETN, again, I don't dismiss that that's a pretty big deal. But it's also one player. I think you feel pretty good about the health of your football team overall, and on offense, you should look the part in week one.
Yeah, you would hope so. I think this offensive line will be back together week one. Like you said, Travis Etienne, you're missing out on him, but everything else seems to be in place. I think DJ Chark's expected to come back. So all things considered, it could be worse. I think, you can't undervalue the fact that you did lose Travis Etienne, though, and I think that he was drafted in that first-round pick because he was going to, Urban Meyer was going to build that offense around him a little bit. You lose that piece now. I feel like nobody can really come in and make up for that piece. Like, yes, you still have Laviska Shenault, you have James Robinson, but they aren't the players in terms of their skill set, what Travis Etienne brought to the team. So it could change a little bit schematically, but overall, you're happy with what you see.
Overall, how do you feel about this football team? Is this what you expected to feel like going into the regular season? Still have plenty of question marks. It's a 1-15 team. It's got a new quarterback. It's got a new coach. Obviously, coming off that performance, you're like, okay, I got some momentum here. I like this. I can buy into some things. But where are you at with the football team 2 weeks away from a regular season opener? And how comfortable are you with the fact that, hey, we know this isn't a Super Bowl team, right? That's most likely a 95% chance not a playoff team. But is this going to be a step in the right direction? Do you feel pretty good about that?
So as far as the defense is concerned, I like the fact that they've really made a precedent of stopping the run. Now, we've heard that in the past, and even though they said it, they didn't really do the job. It seems to be the most important aspect of this defense right now, which I can appreciate because, you know what I got to say, if you run the ball and you stop the run, you got a good shot of winning. So I like that. Now it comes down to man coverage. You know, can Shaq Griffin, can Tyson Campbell? Is he okay, by the way?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think they had seen enough and wanted to keep him out. But
interesting.
I think he's okay.
Can Tyson Campbell, can C.J. Henderson, can they step up to the challenge and play man defense, and cover some of the best receivers in the league? There is a question mark there, so we'll see with that. On offense, though, I'll be honest, I'm very confident for that Cowboys game. But at the same time, what is this offense's identity right now? Because we don't know that. I can sit here and give you a 10-minute TED talk of what this defense's identity is going to be and what their goals are going to be. I'm not quite sure with this offense yet. So overall, if you don't know your identity, or at least I don't know your identity, I can't give you my full-fledged, vote of confidence and say I think they're ready. But the Dallas game did help.
Yeah, let me just Tyson Campbell. I'm not saying they held him out because he was ready. I'm saying they held him. I think he had a little bit of an injury, but I don't think it's like a bad injury. I think they held him out as a cautionary part. But they do feel pretty good overall about. They feel pretty good about their secondary. They think there are just a couple plays here or there that stood out. That's why everybody's like, oh my gosh, but they like it. I think where they're at, and they think it's going to get better. There's some young guys back there, obviously, too. So I think there's something to like about their secondary in terms of their athleticism and their length and their speed. And I feel like C.J. Henderson has made some plays like each and every week of the preseason, kind of like that, especially if you go back to where your first – the first couple weeks of this preseason where C.J. Henderson was compared to now, I feel a whole lot better about number 23, so that's good. But back to your identity, because I've thought about that a little bit. I know that's a question mark. Isn't this kind of simple, though? Isn't the identity their offense, number 16? Isn't it Trevor Lawrence? Isn't it like how he plays is how they go, probably? And isn't that kind of a good thing? We haven't had that. So we would say, hey, are they a run-first team? Are they Fred Taylor, Maurice Jones-Drew? Are they Leonard Fournette? Are they now James Robinson last year? But isn't this really the first time in, a really, really long time, if not ever, that the identity of this football team really revolves around the guy taking snaps from center? And that's who it is. That's the identity. This is Trevor Lawrence's offense.
It's Trevor, but what does that mean, though? Are they going to run or are they going to pass?
Yeah.
Because when you get guys like Chris Manhertz, when you draft a guy like Luke Farrell, that shows me that you're trying to be a run-first team. And we've heard Urban Meyer allude to this a little bit. If you get a guy like Zach Ertz and you trade for him, well, then that shows me you're trying to be a pass-first team. The first couple of games in the preseason, I think you were trying to be more first of a run-first team and go off play action. What I saw in Dallas was obviously you're a pass-first team. So I understand that the identity is Trevor Lawrence right now, but that's a name. What are you trying to do on offense?
Yeah, that's fair. And do you think how quick do we know what that is? Right. I believe that everybody wants to run the football, especially if you have a young quarterback, you want to run the football. But I believe that this is still about how he throws the football. That's not to say he's going to Patrick Mahomes it and throw it 45 times, to your point. But I think for me going into the year, it's, okay, if this kid plays well, they're going to be in games, win games, have a chance to win games. When he doesn't play well and he has some rookie blues, they're going to struggle. And so that's, to me, their offense. And if that's getting the ball out quick and throwing it 4 yards and letting Laviska Shenault take it 6, 7, 8 yards, if that's 3rd and 8 and boom, rifling a pass in there on a slant pattern, that's it. If that's hitting a bomb down the field, which he likes to do, and he's done that a few times in the preseason, which is nice to see, then that might be it. But, I get your point. The nature of the question is, are you going to run? Are you going to pass? I don't think they're going to be a 50-50 team. You can try all you want. Everybody wants to do that. Every offense coordinator who's ever existed wants to do that. But to me, going into the year, everything revolves around him in that position, which is so different than what it's been. It really is. It just hasn't been that way. Now, the quarterback's always integral, but it just hasn't been how he goes, they go. And I think that's the way it is here in 2021.
No, sure. My only point is the fact that, if I was to go on, let's say Houston calls, like the Houston radio station, they want me to come on their show, and they want me to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars of who they are week 1. And they ask me, Austin, what do you think the Jaguars are going to come out with offense? What are they going to do? And I'll be honest with you, I really have no idea. Like that's and that to me is what the identity speaks right now. Now, once again, we get in the regular season, we're going to see a little more, and we'll figure it out. But I'm just saying, entering week 1 against Houston, I can't say I'm quite sure what it's going to be yet.
Yeah, and here's the deal with that. Okay, that's in my estimation, that's okay going into the season. What I don't want is 4 weeks into the year not being able to answer that.
Sure.
Yeah. Because that's what we did. We did that the last couple of years, especially last year. We would sit here in December and be like, what are they?
Let's be honest. I mean, last year they tried to run the ball, but their defense couldn't stop anybody, so they're playing behind a lot.
Yeah, what's the identity? Remember, we used to have those conversations about Doug Marrone. Like, what's the identity of the football team? In 2017, we knew the identity. It was defense and smash-mouth football on offense, right? Mm-hmm. That's what it was. By 2020, a Doug Marrone-led team, we really didn't know what the identity was overall. Mm-hmm. I think we know what it is on defense, to your point. Stop the run, and then pray in the back end that they can get the job done. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. I think it's, hey, let's see if 16 can score some points, but to your point, what is it on first and second down? What does this team look like? Are they running for 180 yards, or are they throwing for 350 a game in the first month of the year? We're going to find out soon enough. We take a break, talk a lot more Jags, what else happened around the NFL as well. Hope you had a good weekend. It's a Monday, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, and it's a college football week as well. Home of the Florida State Seminoles. They get Notre Dame on Sunday night right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, we are tracking gradual clearing in our skies, becoming mostly sunny this afternoon with temperatures turning hot in the low 90s. Tonight, temperatures will drop into the mid-70s with only a few clouds in the sky. Partly sunny on Tuesday with an isolated shower and storm possible with temperatures in the low to mid-90s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjig.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where for a limited time, get 0% financing for 5 years, only at Beard's Diamonds.
Happy football season. Oh, it's so good to have it back. What do you say we get a pint? You can do that at Culhane's Irish Pub all football season at Atlantic Beach in the South Side. 2 locations. TVs to watch your favorite teams like the Georgia Bulldogs. Fish and chips, shepherd's pie. Plenty of food and drink while you watch football. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com and try the new Five Sisters Vodka at Happy Hour. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and Southside. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
When you think about Jacksonville, you think about a city that is surrounded by water. And being by water afforded Jacksonville to have one of the largest container ports in the entire country. And another fun fact that RV sales are at an all-time high right now. But what does this all mean? What am I getting at? It means that there's high-paying jobs available for those that know the ins and outs of the marine side and of the land side of recreational vehicles. And this is where JTech comes into play. JTech offers a program where you can learn about the diagnostic procedures and effective repair methods of a variety of recreational vehicles, including motorhomes and RVs, power boats, jet skis, diesel and gasoline, outboard and inboards, and much more. And they also help prepare students to take the Yamaha certification exam, which is required in the Marine Maintenance Certification Program. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
Hi there, I'm Mia. I'm Air.
You're Air?
Yeah, I just got out of the lungs of someone smoking a cheap little cigar outside a bodega. Oh, it was so smoky in there. And where there's smoke, there's
fire.
Cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, little cigars might taste sweet, but they still kill. I'm supposed to be helping people, not unhelping them.
You mean hurting?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm a bit of an airhead.
Little cigars are just as dangerous as regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks R Us Training Helpline. Today, we're discussing the differences between a safe-touch security system and a do-it-yourself security system.
One's professionally installed and monitored while the other one comes in a box.
Well, yeah, there's that. As you know, houses with safe touch security systems are strictly off limits to us crooks for many reasons.
Professional installation and monitoring among them.
Correct. And by contrast, alarm systems that come in a box with do-it-yourself installation are a crook's best friend.
Plus, they have DIY monitoring. No comparison to Safe Touch's two-way communicator.
Excellent point. So to sum up, as crooks, you'll want to avoid any house with Safe Touch security. And tell your loved ones if they're going to buy something that comes in a box, just make it cornflakes.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Greg McGarity. The future of college football is now, and our primary goal is to position the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl and Jacksonville to be prepared for a potential college football expansion. And we need you, our local business leaders, to join our team and showcase that Jacksonville supports college football. Gator Bowl Sports has opportunities for all companies, whether you have 5 employees or 5,000. I would love to meet you and talk about our future. If you'd like to learn more, contact me at 904-798-1700.
He's kept you ahead of storms.
This is going to be a very active afternoon of storms.
He's taken you inside storms.
Look at the Reds then that have shifted a little south of Jacksonville.
And for 33 years, the Chief has seen it all. Forecasting severe weather days in advance. So when storms are headed your way, there is only one meteorologist to turn to tonight, the Chief. The knowledge and experience of Jacksonville's Chief Meteorologist, Mike Burrish. Action News Jack's First Alert Weather, only on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690. Got back from Dallas late last night, opened that garage door, walked in the house, didn't trip over anything. That's a win in my book right there, if you can do that. And that's what I do now. Couldn't do it for a while, and then I called Easy Garage Solutions. They took care of it for me. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that'll last a lifetime, so I hang the bikes and the lawn equipment, the beach chairs, everything up on the walls. Easy Garage Solutions. Check them out. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. That means all the Christmas decorations, all those bins that you just gather and gather and gather over the years. They are now elevated off the floor. And so the only thing on the floor, nice little batting tee and a hitting net. The kids can do their work. They don't get in the way. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. It's Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Welcome back, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey. Casey apparently said he had an interesting weekend, so can't wait to hear about that at some point.
I like it.
So, quick story from the road.
Okay.
Almost, for the first time in my life, almost didn't leave a tip Saturday night.
Dang. Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows, Brent Martineau.
Almost.
Stiffing it to the man. What happened?
All right, so we had some TV stuff to do. We do all of our stuff during the day. We had an hour pregame Sunday, so we're working a little bit, you know. And because we got in Dallas plenty of time, and we actually had lunch, so we went to eat, but we didn't eat until after all our stuff done, which is like 9:30. And we're in a great spot. They're in like Las Colinas is in the Dallas area. We're in Irving, and so you could walk to restaurants, which is awesome from the hotel. And so. Well, we go out, we take a little left, we go down there, and we find a place, sit down. It's a hot, nice spot, really nice spot. There's a couple of cool places right there. And, you know, it's 9:30-ish, 9:35, and we take our time. We order.
What type of restaurant was it?
It's like, I mean, it was called the Ginger Man. So I don't.
The Ginger Man?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they had beverages and you know, they had a little assortment of food, like between appetizers and, you know, but there was like fish and chips and
I got it.
It wasn't like a pub per se, but it had that kind of feel to it.
All right, well, I just Googled it and it says that the website is the Ginger Man Pub.
Oh, is a pub on the end of it?
Yeah. Well, that's what the website says, the gingermanpub.com.
I didn't see the pub part on there.
I'm saying the name is a Ginger Man, but the website says the gingermanpub.com.
Oh, okay. Well, so there you go.
Pub-ish.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel it. It's like in it'd be like if they put a pub in like the new Durban Crossing area or the town center without all the Irish flair to it.
I got you.
know?
I got you.
Like
Yeah.
I think of Culhane's, I think that's like a pub.
Of course. Yeah.
Right? This didn't have that feel to me.
Okay.
But they had some pub-esque food, okay?
Okay.
If you have fish and chips, you're kind of pub-ish.
You're a pub,
right?
yeah.
So bottom line is, it's fun. We're outside. It's a happening place. Nice night in the area. And 9:35-ish, get an appetizer, ready to order. It takes a little bit for the waiter to come back, which is fine.
Okay.
It's okay. Get our food. Still takes a little bit. There's a lady that comes by and takes our menus. And I was like, well, that's cool. I already know what I'm going to order. I think she must have thought we'd already ordered.
Sure.
Well, so now it's like 10:05, and it's still certainly fine. We're not in a hurry at all, okay?
Yeah.
And waiter comes back, and like, hey, we're going to order our food. The kitchen's closed.
Oh, no.
The kitchen's closed.
So they'd obviously, they thought that you already ordered. You didn't. And then you missed out on ordering the food.
Yeah, he never told. We got there at like 9:30, 9:35-ish. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Never told us that the kitchen closed at 10 o'clock. I mean, it's Saturday night. I know things have changed a lot with I mean, the place is pretty busy, not like crazy busy, but people are eating. Like, there was nothing to say, like, hey, this place might close in a couple minutes.
Okay.
And usually, like, if you're at a place, they might say,
oh, yeah, if you want to put something in right now, tell me because we're getting ready to short. Close the kitchen down. I know, yeah.
And so I'm like, are you serious? Like, and I've told you this before. We've had these conversations. I'm not the guy that complains at a restaurant.
Sure.
Never once in my life have I sent food back. I'm not. You could wait. I'll wait for an hour and a half, and I'm not going to complain. Now, somebody else probably on our table will.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm just not that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'll go like, or let's say a little sigh, but I'm not going to complain either. So we're in the same boat there.
But now I'm kind of pissed.
Should be.
And I'm just like, well, where are we going to go? I mean, it's 10 o'clock now at night. We came here to eat and kind of hungry, quite frankly. And we had like chips and salsa.
McDonald's
is what we had.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I'm really just now it's a principle thing, too. It's like, why didn't you just say, hey, just so you know, we're going to close at 10 o'clock. Can you get your order? And he came back like twice in a half-hour span. So, I mean, someone might be able to argue that it was kind of slow service anyway, but no way. I'm just like, I was kind of like, I had to just settle down a little bit. Marcel's very calm too. He's not mad about anything, but we're both like in a state of shock that the kitchen closed and we weren't told. And long story short, he looks all around. We got like 6 restaurants right there. They were all closing at 10. The kitchen closed at 10. So we basically had to walk like a mile and a half down the road to another spot. Maybe it was a mile.
They had any scooters for you? They had scooters there.
I know. We didn't. We were fine. The walk part was fine.
Okay.
So I did leave a tip. But
Okay.
I'm just telling you, it was
That's generous
I
of
couldn't
you.
do it. I just didn't have it in my soul to not leave a tip. But
because let's be honest, but you should have, because the bartender, was it the bartender's fault or was it the lady?
It was the waiter's fault. I mean, it's really the waiter's fault. He just did not communicate. This wasn't at a bar. It wasn't the bar. It was
you're
like
at the
we
restaurant
were seated,
sitting
man.
down.
We were seated.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
Like
okay.
seated at the table.
Okay.
Like food's coming out for everybody.
Yeah.
And it was totally his fault.
Yeah.
And so I did this. This is the only way I could get this off my chest in a reasonable manner. I just said, I wrote on the receipt.
Yeah.
I said, please let us know next time if the kitchen closes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could do. I wanted to do more. I wanted to say worse.
I mean, I feel like you could have said it to his face, though.
Well, I think he was
really
noticeably. That was the other part. It was like he knew then we're like, he didn't even do anything. Hey, like that place is open if you need to go. Sorry, I didn't communicate. Not apologetic at all about it. Okay. That was the other thing. It was like he hardly came back after that because I think he knew we were a little not happy.
Yeah.
And so he didn't want to go. Okay. The last part of the story. This is so then we go to this other place, and this place is hopping too over in this other area of town. Now, this one you can tell is more of a late night crowd. And so the guy checking IDs, because it's more of a bar place, but definitely serve food. And he's like, oh, yeah, we serve food till 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, yes, fist pump. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
So we sit down, and they got a big menu, but we're figuring they're going to work off the late night menu because they had one of those too. It's already 10:30. And so that made sense. So they had like chicken wings and like hummus and like pizza for the late night menu.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So we go, both Marcel and I are like, hey, let's go with the chicken wings. Yeah, we'd like to order chicken wings. We're out of chicken wings.
Of course. Fan. There is a shortage of chicken wings.
That's what everybody's telling me. I didn't know there's a shortage of chicken wings.
There's a shortage of chicken wings, and there seems to be a shortage on change for whatever reason.
There's not a shortage at Extreme Wings in Jacksonville.
There we go.
So
now
we'll see you at Roosevelt Boulevard on
the
Friday.
Chickens, man. All the chickens in the back, just waiting.
We'll be live from there 3 to 6 on Friday. Come visit us.
I like it.
I was like, of course. I was actually probably not very nice to this waitress.
Yeah, but she had no idea, though.
She had no idea about the history.
The previous.
But she couldn't get it out of her mouth like we're out of chicken wings. I was like, of course you are.
Yeah. Just annoyed, off to a bad start.
Of course you are.
Of course you are.
So
what did you have?
I ended up having like a little pizza, and it was really good. Good. So it was
you got something out of the mix. Good Lord.
Like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. You know, we were talking about where do you go, Tex-Mex or barbecue, steak. Yep. I couldn't even get anything at the first place.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to be a great eating experience in Dallas. Everybody always asks you, where'd you go eat?
Yeah.
Well, we went here, but we didn't eat.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my story.
I like it, man.
Let's get back to the Jags talk. I did leave a tip. I just wanted to let you know. So basically, you cannot serve me. You can tick me off.
Sure.
All that stuff, and I'm still going to leave you a tip.
Now you guys
Shame
know.
on me.
Brett Marno comes to your restaurant. You can do whatever. You're still getting paid.
Shame on me. Hey, let's listen to a little Urban. You got some Urban, Casey? If you have that. Urban on making the cuts, because this is a new territory time coming up for Urban Meyer coming out of the college game. It's decision time for the Jacksonville Jaguars tomorrow.
Yeah, we've been every off day we have probably longer meetings than most. I have some new coach. I have a guy named Chris Ash, Charlie Strong. You have some guys that are college guys that are learning. Our safety room. I mean, all those guys are playing well. And then Tosh got that defensive line. You got your first, but there's a group of players in there that are playing very well. And then the receivers. Today. I mean, that's gonna be tough. Like if you're an insubordinate guy or just kind of a pain in the rear end, I've never mind moving those guys on, but I don't have that. We don't have that in that locker room, so it's gonna be tough.
That's Urban Meyer. Easy cut, hard cut for the Jags, do you think? I mean, listen, I understand there's never easy, but you get down to 80-53. Sometimes when you have a not-so-good football team, that's not really a hard cut, right? Like I said this before, I think last week, Brandon Beane, Buffalo, they look like they have a really nice roster. And I've seen the narrative out of there is like they might have a hard time cutting. Like, so you might want to pay attention to the waiver wire if you're Jags, who, by the way, are in the number one spot, to like the Bills roster. They might cut a couple of good players that you can use as a not-so-great roster. So easy or hard?
No, I mean, it's going to be hard, especially for your first time. And like Urban Meyer said, it's one thing if you have guys that aren't buying in, that aren't playing your brand of football. Yeah, it's like a Band-Aid. See ya. One motion right off. With the guys that have bought in, though, and the guys that have played well, it's hard to look those guys in the face and say, hey, you did everything that you could, but unfortunately, it just didn't shake out. That's a hard conversation to have because we're talking about guys' livelihoods here. We're talking about some guys who may never play in the league again. And this is Urban Meyer's first go at that. Now, every coach handles this a little differently. Some coaches that I played for, they leave it to the GM to break the news. Some coaches that I played for leave it to an assistant to break the news. And some coaches will look you right in the face, shake your hand, and say, hey, this is why we're cutting you. Best of luck in the future. Every coach handles this different. But I think from Urban Meyer's first time, I mean, I think it never gets easy. I remember Doug Marrone said that. But for Urban Meyer's first time, I think it's going to be a difficult thing. That's one of the reasons why I never want to get into coaching, because I don't want to have those conversations with guys.
That's a tough part. And again, it's a unique part. I'm sure he's had to kick guys off the team, but if they're making their own bed kicking off the team, that's different than this,
right? See, and it's different, too, because the guys that you brought in usually buy in terms of scholarships. And if the guy, buys in, regardless if he's a starter or he's a senior, but he's third on the depth chart, he's still going to have a home. You're not just going to cut a guy like that.
Yeah.
As long as they buy in the college program and you brought those guys here, you can't justify cutting them. In the NFL, it's different. You have to. It doesn't matter how great of a guy they are, how much they bought in, how well they played for you. If they're not going to meet the demands, if they're not going to, meet the upper echelon in terms of, the skill set, you got to let them go.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, too. Again, I'd say I love being on the sidelines for a couple of games because you see some different perspectives of just how much he does interact and like the players. Mm-hmm. He reminds me of Gus in that sense, and they are not alike, it doesn't seem, right? Mm-hmm. You would say, if I say Gus Bradley and Urban Meyer, right, you wouldn't be like, well, they're not. That's totally two different guys, two different styles, two different everything. Mm-hmm. But one thing you knew about Gus, you played for Gus a little bit, you knew he loved the players.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was, you could feel that. Urban, you kind of you feel that too. Like he talks about it. I think some of the players will talk about it, but you can see it. I mean, I tweeted a video of him and Trevor. I can see why he loves Trevor, right? He gave him like a hug on the sideline. I was like, finally, some damn points, right? He was excited about that. But I saw him do that with the guy that they signed like on Saturday. You know, they made a couple roster moves, and he actually like met the guy in the hotel for the first time. You know, and he was about ready to go in the game, and you could tell it was like he knew him forever.
But see, those are those bubble guys, though. Those are the guys that coaches grow fond of because they can't afford to take a day off. They can't afford to take a practice off because one little off day, one little day where you maybe loaf a little bit too much, that's the day you get cut. Like if you're a starter or you're a backup, like you can be like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of mill it in this, for this practice, and we'll be all good. Bubble guys can't afford to think like that. So, like, really the bubble guys, they kind of exemplify exactly, in terms of the intensity, in terms of the work ethic of what you want at practice.
Yeah, I think the guy I was referring to, it's funny because on the Jags roster, they don't even have a name for him. Jermaine Illuminor is an offensive lineman. Okay. And you could, I saw him go up to him because he was going in like the fourth quarter. It was almost, I think this is the guy he was talking about the day before on the podium after saying, hey, I just met like this guy. It's so bizarre. This is crazy, Yeah. And then, but he was like hitting him and like, oh, hey, man, go after. You could tell he was kind of like, man, go put some good stuff on tape, man. Let's see what you got. I'm excited to see what you got. Yeah. And that was in the fourth quarter of a game where, by the way, your head coach at that time could almost be like on the way to Houston, start game planning and thinking about Houston by that point. So I think you see that. You really do see the relationship there. I think it's going to be tough for Urban Meyer. It's exactly what you said. That is very transparent. He's asked a lot of these guys. He said he was going to, and now you're going to have to say, hey, man, you're not good enough to make it, even though you did everything that we asked you to do. Coming up a little bit later in the show, we're doing cuts. We got our 53-man roster that we got to do live here. Mm-hmm. All right? We got to talk it out. It's Trent Baalke and Urban Meyer. Mm-hmm. All right? And we got to make the cuts down to the 53. We're coming up at football at 5.
Are we going to have a Gardner Minshew eulogy too or not?
We will. That's coming up at like 4.
Okay. Good. Good.
Do you have a eulogy all set?
No, I'm just wondering, man. We got to talk about it, dude. Like, he was a big part of the headbands on the show and everything, and now he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I still got my aviators.
For sure.
We will assess the Gardner Minshew trade. How did that come all about? What does that all mean? That's on the way as well. More Jags talk, more NFL talk. Happy Monday. Less than 2 weeks away from the season, and, of course, college football starting up. You're home for Florida State football and basketball right here on ESPN 690. How about the Knowles and Notre Dame on Sunday night? We'll talk some college football as we go along this week. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
What's up, Jacksonville? I'm Casey Kurtz. For the first time since September 13th of 2020, the Jacksonville Jaguars have won a football game. The Jags beat the Dallas Cowboys yesterday 34-14, and Trevor Lawrence was the story for the Jags, going 11 for 12 for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. With the win, the Jags finished the preseason 1-2 and will cut their roster down to 53 tomorrow. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp wrapped up a 12-game road trip yesterday with a 4-3 win over the Norfolk Tides. The Shrimp took 5 of 6 from the Tides on the second part of the road trip and finished the road trip in total with a record of 7-5. The Shrimp are off today and will return home on Tuesday to start a 12-game homestand with the Durham Bulls coming to town first. And the JU men and women picked up wins in soccer over the weekend. The men over Wofford and the women over Presbyterian. This Sports Center update sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long. Right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Summer is in full swing, and DoorDash is making sure you get the most out of this time with your family. Back-to-school shopping should be easy and convenient, and now it is with DoorDash. Get all of your essentials brought right to your door with 1-hour delivery. Shop healthy lunch options from your favorite grocery store and notebooks, pens, and pencils from your local convenience store. It's all just a tap away, all in one app. Simplify your summer and download the DoorDash app today.
Meet Bob Minetti. In 2016, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Bob participated in a clinical trial that included cutting-edge radiation therapy and surgery. He's been in remission since completion. I'm Keisha Sharp. Since losing my mother to pancreatic cancer, I've been working to share the kind of state-of-the-art work being done by Stand Up to Cancer and Lustgarten Foundation. To learn more about the latest research, including clinical trials, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Hi, I'm Tom Van Osdal, President and CEO of Ascension Florida and Gulf Coast. I'm proud to be the chair of this year's American Heart Association First Coast Heart Walk, coming up on Saturday, September 11th. This year, out of an abundance of caution and for the health of our community, rather than one large event, we will have 3 satellite locations in different Jacksonville neighborhoods. Visit firstcoastheartwalk.org today and learn more and find the location nearest you.
Hey, boss, just got done with Case and Neighborhoods. Hey, have you noticed more Safe Touch security signs in yards lately?
No, I'll bet it's because of back to school.
Back to school?
Yeah. See, back in the old days, parents who worked in the afternoon had no idea when Junior got home from school, right?
Yeah. Oh, but now with Safe Touch, the app lets him know exactly when he walks in the door.
Right. Parents love it. And Safe Touch video monitoring can show him exactly who the precious angel is walking in with.
Oh, I get it. Safe Touch is like an extra pair of eyes for mom and dad.
Right. So the kids are never home alone.
And parents are never away from home.
Precisely. It's also one more reason why we crooks got our golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Simple as 2 + 2.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The weather's not the only thing hot this time of year.
Beard's Diamond's incredible 0% financing was a sizzling success this past spring.
So we're bringing it back for a limited time.
Shop the biggest inventory in North Florida and get 0% financing store-wide
for 5 years on anything and everything.
How about a $6,000 designer setting?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a $2,500 pair of diamond studs.
You pay less than $42 a month.
Then spread your payments out over 60 months and get her that piece of jewelry that she has been dreaming of.
How about a GIA certified diamond with a Tacori or Verragio setting for $12,000?
You pay just $200 a month.
Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price.
And now get 0% financing store-wide.
Pick out that one-of-a-kind piece, then divide your total by 60, and that's what you pay a month.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed.
At Beard's Diamonds.
It's the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. Come shop over 700 new Toyotas and choose your way to save. Get interest rates as low as 0% on over 10 new Toyota models or enjoy no payments until 2022. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with every new car purchase, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Why wait? Shop the national sales event at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/August for full details.
Start fall with everything to do business better during Dell Technologies Labor Day event. Save up to 45% on select business PCs with Windows 10 Pro. Power your workday with savings on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and other accessories, plus free shipping on everything. Do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL for business specials during Dell's Labor Day event.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Today solved a lot of problems where you just feel, last week we felt awful walking off the field, especially in the first half. But you feel good now, and, you don't want to overdo it, but I'm overdoing it. We're going to enjoy a win and go home and get ready to play one that's going to count in the win-loss column.
Yeah, it counts for real now against Houston. Coming up on September 12th. That's a Sunday, 2 weeks from yesterday. So the real deal is about to happen. Here's the thing. You get cuts tomorrow at 4 o'clock. They'll be down to 53-man roster, then 16-man practice squad. But keep an eye on the Jaguars on the waiver wire, because through the third week of the regular season, So really now for the next 5 weeks, they have the number one spot on the waiver wire. So they can pick up whoever they want. And you got to believe that the Jaguars will be fishing.
You got to, yeah.
There's got to be upgrades and possibilities. The problem with the waiver wire and what makes it a little bit uncomfortable sometimes is one time it could be like a salary cap thing, bringing a veteran in rather than maybe a younger guy that's going to cost less. But the Jags don't have to worry about that. I think it's more familiarity. Do you rather have a guy that's your fifth linebacker that you've seen all camp and and you've been around him for 6 months, or do you bring somebody in that you don't know and take a chance because, they might look a little bit better on tape, marginally better. That's a little bit of an upgrade. So you like what you know, or you like that what might be better? What might be better should win out because that's what the goal is all the time. But I think it makes it a little bit uncomfortable overusing that waiver wire. And the good news for the Jags was they got the first pick.
Do you want the Bleacher Report biggest roster cuts predictions?
Yeah, I might have run into this article by accident. And was Taven on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I saw Taven. Now I kind of forget who the other two. I think Penny from Seattle was on that.
Not on this one.
He wasn't on that one?
No.
Okay.
So according to this Bleacher Report article, the biggest cuts that could be happening would be Peyton Barber out of Washington, running back. Miles Boykin, wide receiver, Baltimore Ravens. Taven Bryan. Devontae Freeman, running back, New Orleans Saints. N'Keal Harry from the New England Patriots, wide receiver. Jordan Hicks, linebacker from the Arizona Cardinals. John Brown, wide receiver from the Las Vegas Raiders. And Jelani Tavai, linebacker, Detroit Lions. Those are the biggest names.
Anybody do anything for you?
I mean, obviously, when you talk about the running backs, could I sit here and say, do I think Peyton Barber or even maybe an aging Devontae Freeman could be an upgrade from Ozigbo and Agumbawale? Maybe, right? Do I think N'Keal Harry could be an upgrade from the last guy in terms of the wide receiver roster? I would say so. It just comes down to, do you want to risk that waiver wire claim for one of those guys? And I'm not sure if you do.
There's a reason why someone's cutting someone, right?
Yeah.
And again, I would be more apt to take, I know this is logic in a way, but also dangerous just to look at it this way. I'd be much more apt to take someone off the Patriots waiver wire, who I think their roster's pretty good, and they might just have to make a tough cut, than I would Detroit.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would ask, why are the Patriots cutting that guy? They have evaluated people pretty well over the years.
Yeah.
And if they don't like Harry and they've given up on him, is it just a change of scenery could do this guy better? Could he be better as our sixth guy? There's a lot that goes into it, is my point. Devontae Freeman, by the way, in that situation, I think a lot goes into Agumbawale is one of the better special teams guys for the Jags.
Sure.
So are you willing to part with that for a Freeman who might be better in the running game, what you're trying to do? So, again, there's a lot of different questions that go into it.
And Harry is expected to be out for at least 4 weeks of action due to a shoulder injury.
So there you go. That might be why. Hey, did you see the Texans are prepared to have Deshaun Watson on the 53-man roster inactive every week, according to multiple league sources. This is Aaron Wilson reporting. Watson, who has issued a standing trade request with no deal imminent, would be paid $10 million salary. So just a 3-quarterback system.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson. The bottom line is we know this. The Jags are not playing Deshaun Watson on Sunday.
No.
There's
no
2
way.
weeks.
No.
That's obvious.
Yes.
Which is probably an underspoken part of that week one. I understand why everybody says, hey, Houston's a mess and Jags, they got to win this game. And I kind of feel strongly like, it does feel like they have to win the game. There's a lot. I'd play that like it's a Super Bowl so you don't lose that game.
Yeah.
Even if you lose the next 4, I think it's valuable to win that game. I really do. Not just because it's the first one. No, because it's the Houston narrative. And you're trying to get out from underneath your own narrative. So there's a lot of value, I think, in that first game. We discussed that. We thought there was a lot of value in last Monday night, the national narrative. Well, they swung and missed on that attempt. They can't swing and miss on this. This is huge for the Jaguars to win. But the big key, you're not playing Watson. It's like there's no secret to it. A lot of times you'll wonder if, is Carson Wentz coming back if you're playing Indianapolis? We're going to play Jacob Eason. That's not this. We know
Colts got to burn
Watson's
some
not
sage,
playing.
man. Colts are in trouble, though, in terms of injuries and stuff.
Yeah, they
and
have
COVID
been.
now.
But, I mean, that cannot be undervalued, the fact that Deshaun Watson is not playing that season opener.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the smack that we talked, well, at least that I've talked about Houston, I mean, I've always had the recollection that he wouldn't be playing,
Yeah,
against week 1.
I think we've always had it, but it's it's a reality.
It's official now.
He is not playing.
It's official now.
And where do you stand? Do you think he sits out the entire season, or do you think somebody trades for him? I know there's been rumors this week, but do you think...
I was reading some things where if they put in a clause where he's found guilty of those things, they get the compensation for the draft picks. If that's the case, then I can see a team trading for him.
We'll see. Hey, Gardner Minshew is gone.
Yeah.
The Jags traded him away. Did they get enough in return? How did this happen? Is it a good move for Gardner? How do you feel about the Gardner era?
And also, Juju Smith-Schuster, what are you doing?
Oh, I guess we have that coming up at 4 as well.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it.
On ESPN 690. That's a hell of a tease right there, Austin Lane. We'll be back.
I just found it.
Happy football season. Oh, it's so good to have it back. What do you say we get a pint? You can do that at Culhane's Irish Pub all football season at Atlantic Beach in the South Side. 2 locations. TVs to watch your favorite teams like the Georgia Bulldogs. Fish and chips. Shepherd's pie. Plenty of food and drink while you watch football. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com and try the new Five Sisters Vodka at happy hour. 2 locations at Atlantic Beach and South Side. Culhane's Irish Pub. Irish sass with 5-star class.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Greg McGarity. The future of college football is now, and our primary goal is to position the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl and Jacksonville to be prepared for a potential college football expansion. And we need you, our local business leaders, to join our team and showcase that Jacksonville supports college football. Gator Bowl Sports has opportunities for all companies, whether you have 5 employees or 5,000. I would love to meet you and talk about our future. If you'd like to learn more, contact me at 904-798-1700.
Galaxy Builders, they're out of this world. Galaxy Builders, they're out of this world.
Attention residential roof repair technicians. Do you feel a lack of support from your boss or feel you're underpaid? If so, Galaxy Builders wants to interview you today. Galaxy Builders is hiring experienced roof repair technicians and offers a $5,000 signing bonus, 401k plan, and a fully outfitted company truck. Fill out the Contact Us form at galaxyfla.com to schedule an interview.
Hey, do you owe more than $25K on your car, a truck, or that toy in the driveway? Refinance your auto loan with One-to-One Financial. We'll not only lower your payments, but we'll put $200 cash in your pocket. Plus, we have the lowest loan rates in town. Make some room in your budget and put more cash in your pocket. When you refinance with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Apply today at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Are you a recent high school graduate who hasn't made up their mind about what they want to do for their career? Or possibly you're already working, but you're stuck in a dead-end job? If so, then I'm here to tell you about JTech. JTech is a local school that offers hands-on essential career training. Have you heard about the massive increase in online ordering since the pandemic started? That means that more people are needed who can service diesel trucks. Diesel technology is an important part of the transportation industry, and qualified diesel technicians play a huge role in keeping that industry moving. At JTech, they're helping to meet the demand for skilled diesel technicians by offering a 91 credit hour ASE-based diesel technology program. This program is going to help you give you the hands-on skills and confidence needed to launch a successful career in diesel technology. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
It's the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. Come shop over 700 new Toyotas and choose your way to save. Get interest rates as low as 0% on over 10 new Toyota models or enjoy no payments until 2022. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with every new car purchase, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Why wait? Shop the national sales event at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/August for full details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX and an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $34.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Staff member who tested positive. This was supposed to be a big week for Wentz in his recovery from foot surgery and quest to be ready for the start of the season. Will it be Cam Newton or Mac Jones starting at quarterback for the Patriots Week 1 versus the Dolphins? Coach Bill Belichick not ready to divulge that decision. His answer today to the QB question, they'll do whatever's best for the team. That would be starting the rookie Jones, in the opinion of the undefeated's Dominique Foxworth.
I think he gives them the best chance to win going forward. I think that there's not much of a difference Week 1 who gives them the best chance to win. If anything, maybe that's the argument for Cam. He's a veteran, so maybe he gives them a little bit better chance Week 1. But late in the season, into next year, going forward, Mac Jones gives them the best chance to win.
Saints coach Sean Payton said he expects his team to be displaced for at least the next week as New Orleans recovers from damage caused by Hurricane Ida. The Saints are scheduled to open the season at home on September 12th.
Download the DraftKings app and use code CJR to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, that was tough, man. That was he became. I mean, I was a little choked up when I saw him in that office, and I walked in, and I didn't know him at all. It didn't start off on the best of terms because I'm not sure how much he wanted to be here. And I get it. First overall pick, and he's a competitive maniac, that guy, and I get it. And I told him the rest of his life, count me as a big fan because he's what you want. He's a warrior. He's a competitor.
That's Urban Meyer on Gardner Minshew. They trade him Saturday morning. We're about 30,000 feet in the air. Got down and heard about that.
Yeah,
like, whoa,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, you say that 6 months ago, I was like, well, I figured he wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got this far. I wasn't so sure they would trade him based on his play in the preseason. But there's a bunch of different thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this was their plan all the time to try to sell him and play him with the ones and keep this competition going. Was it for Trevor? Was it for the rest of the team? Was it for Gardner to be traded away? You know what? Pick whatever reason you like. He got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Gardner Minshew, Minshew Mania, Minshew Magic. It was a thing for a bit now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my overwhelming thought about the Gardner Minshew stuff is good for him.
Sure.
Because what Urban said right there about we didn't get off to a great start because I wasn't sure he wanted to be here. And a lot of that was he wasn't really showing up in January and February when sometimes players do, sometimes players don't. And so from Urban's perspective, he had heard stuff from the last regime, which it was pretty obvious the last regime wasn't a big fan of Gardner Minshew.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that all in Urban Meyer's head, and for Gardner Minshew to win him over the last 5-6 months, I think says a lot about Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, we all knew, he knew, everybody knew that Trevor Lawrence was going to be the guy, and it's going to be the guy for the next 10 years in Jacksonville. Everybody hopes. So I really feel good for Gardner Minshew that kind of get out of the building, get out of Jacksonville, start new. And this is an opportunity that he might have a chance to play. We'll see how Jalen Hurts plays. But if you pick some of the spots around the league where he could have a chance to play sometime in 2021 other than a big injury to somebody, this would be one of the places.
No, I mean, it's definitely a good spot for Gardner Minshew. It's a fresh new start. I wish him nothing but the best. The very first guy I ever interviewed in any sport at the Senior Bowl. So, I got nothing but respect for the dude and just how he handles himself and just what he brings to the game of football. But I can't help but sit here after the fact, seeing that you got a 6th-round pick for him, and think, dang, I kind of feel like the Eagles won that trade. Now, if you look at the Gardner Minshew preseason performances, yeah, nothing to write home about. Really didn't look that good at all. I mean, he was in the prime spot to be the backup quarterback. I think he lost that spot because you had a guy in C.J. Beathard who had the best quarterback rating through 2 preseason games, and then eventually would take over that spot as the backup quarterback. So I get from the standpoint that Minshew did himself no favors in terms of trade value in the preseason games and the meaningful stuff. But at the same time, a 6th-round pick, I was just like, ugh. Congratulations, Eagles.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because here's my perspective on the 6th-round pick. That could become a 5th-round pick if he does play a little bit.
Yeah. I hope so because we have a bet on the line, so I'm going to need to be a 5th-round pick. Remember, that was you didn't think Minshew was going to get traded, and I said, give me a 5th-round pick or better.
Yeah.
That's in the archives.
So am I in line to win this or not?
See, I don't think you're in line because you're a proponent that he was going to stay. I'll have to go back and check the audio. I have the date and the timestamp, so we can go back and bring that up sometime during the week.
You got receipts.
Oh, yeah. I'm starting to keep receipts now.
Okay, good.
Hold people accountable,
Here's the thing. Here's the way I look at it from the organization point of view, okay? Again, this is a different regime, so they probably don't even care about this. But if I was looking at it from, let's say, a Shad or a Tony Khan or whatever point of view, people that have been here, I say you got a ton of marketing out of Minshew. You got 6-6 record his rookie year. You gave it a try with him last year, and it just didn't work out, but you gave him the opportunity at least for some time. At the end of the day, you get Trevor Lawrence because it all fizzled out. And you get the 6th-round pick you initially invested in the player back because that's what it cost him. So they got all that for free over a couple years. That's the way I look at it. So they got their 6th-round pick back, and they got all that from Gardner Minshew. I mean, they got a lot of value out of that 6th-round pick is my point.
You said it. You got a lot of value out of a 6th-round pick. So to me, he's worth more than a 6th-round pick.
He might be, but he's not. He's worth what people will pay for. You might think your house is worth a lot too, but your house is only worth how much.
You don't think a team would give a 5th-round pick for him? Well, talk to Atlanta Falcons right now and see how their backup court situation is going. Because they got a guy in Felipe Franks who didn't look the best, and you got a guy that you just signed in Josh Rosen who he had a nice touchdown and everything, but are you really confident with him being the backup? Well, I would probably take Minshew over Rosen.
Well, you might. I think a lot of people might, but they don't want to give him a 5th-round pick. You don't think they called Atlanta?
I mean, I see a team that gave up a 5th-round pick for Joshua Dobbs and had no problem pulling that trigger. I see a team that got a 6th-round pick. If you look at the history of 6th-round picks here, well, Jalen Camp, I mean, what does that really mean? We'll find out. I think 2 years ago was Tyler Davis. How'd that pan out for you? Like, a 6th-round pick's a 6th-round pick. Now, it can be a difference maker, sure, but let's be honest. It's a 6th-round pick.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So that's why I think that in terms of what Minshew, his resume, what he's been able to do, what he's looked like on the field in meaningful games. Now, once again, the preseason didn't help him any means, but I think if you look at the bigger picture, I think the Eagles got the steal.
Yeah, well, listen, I think I don't know if I'd quite call it a steal, but I agree with you in terms of I think the Eagles did okay for themselves. They don't have much behind. I don't like Joe Flacco. And you and I agree. I mean, we think Minshew can win games in the NFL. I think he's proven that he's not a top 10, top 12 kind of guy you're going to go to the Super Bowl with, quite frankly, unless he really hits another stride somewhere. He wasn't going to do that here. But I do think you can win games with him. And I'm a fan of Minshew. I think his game's better than people in that building wanted to admit it was or think it was and all that stuff. So that's why I'm really kind of happy for him. But I can't sit here and say, well, they could have got a 5th or they could have got a 4th or they could have got something else. They got what they got because there wasn't much else offered. I mean, you're going to take that and be like, hey, can I get a 5th? Can I get a 4th? Can I get something else? I mean, this is an auction when you're trading. and Atlanta didn't call. By the way, they also tried to move him. They might have tried to move him and make some calls in the spring when it was, when they didn't like him that much or didn't know him as much about him or thought, hey, let's see if we can get something for him. We're bringing C.J. Beathard in, all of that stuff. So I think it was hard to move Minshew for better than what they got. I don't think they were ever, that's why I made the bet with you. I don't think they were ever going to get higher than a fifth. I think the fifth was really the best they were going to get. And this is a sixth that could turn into a fifth.
Sure. I just think that if we look at the history of how the NFL has played out, when you trade a fifth-round pick for Joshua Dobbs, I feel like eventually a team's going to get desperate and offer you a fifth-round pick for Gardner Minshew. I think when you have teams like the Falcons, when you have teams like the Carolina Panthers, when you have teams like the Dallas Cowboys, who right now are kind of unsure about their backup quarterback situation, and you have a guy in Gardner Minshew who you know what you get at the backup quarterback spot, why wouldn't you give up a fifth-round pick for that? But that's just me.
Well, Philadelphia kind of did, potentially did, if they play him at all. We'll see how it goes. Now you look, obviously, C.J. Beathard won this job, you know. I mean, it gave him the leash to be able to do that with Minshew. And maybe they told Minshew that. You know, you never know about some of that stuff. Like maybe they said, hey, come in here, compete. If you don't win the job, we'll give you a chance. We'll try to get you out of here, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they did that. I don't know if they did that. But C.J. Beathard played better in the preseason games. I think their investment in C.J. Beathard said a lot. You know, I mean, when you go give him more than $2.5 million guaranteed and you sign him to a 2-year, $5 million deal, that's pretty invested in a backup quarterback. And Beathard.
Well, now keep in mind, he was the third-string quarterback until Minshew lost it.
He was.
So, yeah. I mean, how invested were you really?
Well, I think that tells the story of where they were at, how far Minshew came in the mind of Urban.
Okay,
like that's why I don't think that's a bunch of BS right there. You know, I think he's exactly telling it how it was. I think Urban at first wasn't a huge fan of Minshew. That's why they went and got Beathard, and they said, "Hey, we need a better backup quarterback around here, right?
Yeah.
We're not sure if this guy can get it done. When he even wants to be here.
Yeah.
Well, we got a young cat in here. We need a good room." And so, but then as it goes along, look at all the reps that he got, the competition that he got. Beathard never competed for the number one spot. Beathard was in the 3-hole and then outperformed Minshew enough to part ways. So it's an interesting story of the Minshew-Meyer relationship. And I think it once again says a whole lot about Gardner Minshew, quite frankly. That's who this guy is. I mean, He's had the chip for his whole life, his whole playing career. He's had a lot of different circumstances that he's been put in from a collegiate level and now this level. Whatever happened last year with that coaching staff, whatever happened with the hand, he never was given the quarterback reins back fully last year to even try to play better football. Whether that was part of going 1-15 or the coaching staff just didn't like him, he never really got that chance. So now it's a new, fresh way. But I think this is always going to be the way for Gardner Minshew, unfortunately for him, because when you're 6 foot tall and you don't have a rifle arm, they're always trying to get better. That's just the way it is. Not his fault. 6'1", a smart guy, not a great arm. In the NFL, they are always going to try to improve. You know, that's why Blaine Gabbert's been in the league for a while. He's what, 6'4", and he's got a rifle arm.
Yeah.
You know what? That plays. You don't have to upgrade that.
And he seems to have some dirt on Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians loves him.
So it's I think Minshew will always have to face this. Minshew could come in Philadelphia, and he could come in for Jalen Hurts, and he wins 4 or 5 games and plays pretty good football. And I think next year they're going to try to improve their quarterback spot.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. It's an unfortunate spot to be in, but that's just sometimes the way it is. Physical traits matter, and that's what's going to hold him back in this league, or people will try to hold that against him in this league. And he has overcome a lot of that, and to even be where he is, I think he's going to be in the league for a long time. You know, a lot of people liken him to Ryan Fitzpatrick. This guy's been in a ton of offenses now. He might not be a Harvard education guy, but he's a smart guy.
Sure.
He knows how to adapt to offenses, and he's going to compete his butt off, and coaches like that. And he's going to push that next guy because he thinks he's better than you. I can tell he thought he thinks he's better than Trevor Lawrence. He's the best quarterback on the roster in his mind. Well, that's what you better have, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the self-confidence and knowing who you are. And that was, you know, when I talked about the Senior Bowl for that first time, that was the first thing I said about him was this guy knows exactly who he is, and that's it's kind of a rare trait to be that young as a rookie and be at the Senior Bowl and already exemplify that, and that's got him to where he's at now. And as long as he can keep that, he can kind of keep that chip on his shoulder and that edge, I think he's always going to have a spot on an NFL team just because coaches love to be around that. I think players love to be around that. It's contagious. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think he's going to have a very long, lustrous career as a backup, and who knows, maybe gets another shot someplace else one day and we'll see how that pans out.
Let's listen to Trevor Lawrence, what he had to say about Gardner Minshew after he got traded away this weekend.
Yeah, me and Gardner had a really good relationship. He's always treated me really well since I've gotten here, helped me as much as he could, and we just had a really transparent relationship. We would talk about things, and I'll always be rooting for him. He's a great player, super smart. I've learned a ton from him, and I don't really know about the details of the situation in Philly, so I can't really know if that's a good spot or not, but I know wherever he goes, he's going to make the most of his opportunities, so I'm excited to watch him. I'm going to miss him. He's a great teammate, so but I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him to get an opportunity.
There you go. The quarterback room now, C.J. Beathard, Jake Luton for now. We'll see if Luton even makes the roster, but I will say this. They have some rifle arm guys now in that. I mean, Beathard's got a good arm. Luton has a really strong arm, and obviously Trevor Lawrence. They don't have to ask about arm strength in the QB room.
No, not at all.
They definitely have that. Let's get South Beach Gary on real quick. I think he has a thought on Gardner Minshew. What's happening, man? Hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, guys. And I do. But first of all, what did you guys think of that Stinnett kid for the Dolphins?
Yeah, what a performance. That was cool. 343 yards passing, a game-winning touchdown. That's what the preseason is about. Like, for everybody who says, like, the preseason, whatever, you get the Rams or the Chargers or whoever, nobody's playing anybody, get healthy. John Gruden, I don't think, played many people. And I understand that. And I wonder if we even need it. But then you see a performance like that. What a great moment. I don't know what happens to that kid, to his career, to his spot on the roster, to whatever. But he's got that moment, 343 yards passing and wins an NFL game. That was pretty cool.
I think, especially that game-winning pass, Brent, the way he hung in the pocket and took the hit, I think he earned a spot on the roster just for that one pass alone. But, looking at Gardner, guys, and I was thinking about this, outside of a devastating injury, I can't think of many players who was meteoric rise and fall as quickly as Gardner. Has there been many other than an injury impacting a player?
Josh Rosen?
That changed so fast. But his stock was never really up, though.
I mean, he's
awesome.
he's a first-round pick.
Well, it was a 10th overall pick.
But he was never really talked about as doing great. I mean, Gardner started off hot, and then there was Minshew Mania and all of that, and I can't think of many, Brett, that rose and fell as quickly as him.
I appreciate the call, South Beach Gary.
Thanks, guys.
It's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think Rosen is an interesting one. I mean, it really, the fall was so quick, even if the rise wasn't like everybody in the world's talking about him. I don't know if Tebow comes to mind because he had the moment in the playoff stuff, but I'm not sure anybody – Tebow was just Tebow, right?
Yeah.
Whether he rose or fall or whatever.
Tommy Maddox.
Tommy Maddox?
Tommy Maddox.
Yeah. Did he have a rise?
How is that not a good one? I feel like Tommy Maddox had a little bit of a rise.
Yeah.
He didn't?
He might have. I don't know. I don't really remember it. I mean, if you want to go all the way back, you can go to
yeah, man. Let me.
Who's the crazy dad one?
Hey.
Raiders picked years ago.
Oh, man. Was I alive for this?
Yeah. Marinovich.
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember that?
I mean, not really. No.
He was like the poster child, right?
His dad pushed him too hard?
Yeah.
Check this out, though.
But, I mean, he was supposed to be he was put on this pedestal.
Yep.
So he was like the talk of everything.
Yep.
And then never really did anything. So, again, I'm not sure he rose, but everybody put him there. Mm-hmm. And so I understand what South Beach Gary's saying. He's like, Gardner Minshew kind of came out of relative nowhere, even though people knew about him a little bit. Relative nowhere to being Uncle Rico and on every Good Morning Football and NFL Network and Fox and CBS and ESPN. Like, I was in Denver, or maybe it was the week later. No, I think I was in Denver. The day that he won with all the Minshew, the crazy plays. Mm-hmm. That morning, I think both major networks had done big stories on Minshew in the morning show. Like, it was their featured piece. So he became just like this folk hero. Mm-hmm. And then to South Beach Gary's point, in the last calendar year, that did fall quite a bit.
All right, so here's my Tommy Maddox comparison. Tommy Maddox, career backup. 2002 comes in, starts 11 games, goes 7-3-1. Takes the Steelers to the playoffs. They win the wild card game with them, lose the divisional round. The next season, he is the bona fide starter, goes 6-10. 18 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. And then from there, he never got it. I mean, he started 3 games the following year.
Good call.
Hey.
That was a good pull.
The prosecution rests. South Beach Gary. There's your comparison right there.
But
Tommy Maddox. You're welcome.
Did you remember anything like Maddox Mania? Like
where
you had to put the aviators on.
Hold up.
And then we got the.
I still
got bandanas around here.
Sure. I'm going to be honest. The only reason why I remember Tommy Maddox is one of my good friends back in, I must have been grade school, bought a Tommy Maddox jersey because he was a big Steelers fan.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of hype around Tommy Maddox. Now, it wasn't Tommy Mania maybe it was like a Tommy Turmoil or something like that. But no, man, there was a time where he was this, he's a starter of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I feel like, in terms of the pomp and circumstance of playing for the Steelers right now, with all due respect to the Jaguars, and it's a little more meaningful.
By the way, what's this bandana?
By the way, someone said touchdown Tommy Maddox. I repressed my case again.
Yeah, those damn Steelers fans.
What's up? What did you say?
What's my bandana?
The Karate Kid. You got any more brain busters, dude?
I just was checking. I didn't know which one this was.
I think it's the Karate Kid, right?
It is, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I never got to, so the whole idea, this is our one last salute, by the way, to Gardner Minshew.
Sure.
But I actually bought these bandanas after week 1 last year.
Yep.
Because Minshew Mondays were going to exist.
Yes, they were.
We had one Minshew Monday.
Yep. Every time he won, we were going to do Minshew Monday.
Minshew Monday last year. It was the first Monday.
Yeah, man.
So here we are on a Monday.
Yep.
And it's one last.
Yeah. It was kind of like a little bit of a cryptocurrency investing where it's like it looked good. It was on a roller coaster and then it went down.
I don't know. It's still looking pretty good right now.
I don't know.
Depends what you bought into.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's hit or miss with that stuff. Tommy Maddox, though, huh?
That was a good pull. By the way, why didn't you even have that on your radar?
I told you because one of my friends, when I was in I think it was 4th or 5th grade, bought a Tommy Maddox jersey. I remember it. And he literally bought the jersey, and the next year he didn't do so well. Kind of a lot like Minshew fans, I feel like.
Minshew was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like Minshew. I'm a fan of Minshew. I think...
wish him nothing but the best.
What I wonder, does Minshew Mania happen somewhere else in his career? Does it happen one more time?
I think if Fitzmagic can happen, it seems like everywhere he goes, I think Minshew Mania can definitely happen.
And isn't that, don't you get the sense that's why people liken it to Fitzpatrick?
Sure.
Because you get a little bit of that, almost every couple of years.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of taste of it.
Well, let's be honest. When Fitz was rocking the tracksuit and the shades and the gold chain, that helped things too.
Well, that's my point.
By the way, I don't get how you're a Harvard graduate and you're rocking a tracksuit and gold chain and shade. You can't have the swag and the brains.
Yeah.
You can't have everything.
Well, he did.
Pick one. I know he does.
Every couple of years he did.
Yeah. and dude's legit, man.
But that's my thing. I think people in Philadelphia at one point over the next couple of years will be doing this.
You think so?
They got the aviators, the bandanas, the jorts on. I think that'll happen.
I hope so, man, because we got some headbands that we got to unload on.
By the way, if anybody in Philly needs a headband.
Yeah, man, I'll be putting out
I got the Karate Kid.
I would be putting that request out right now.
What else do I have? I have some ESPN 690 ones if you want to be part of the branding
here.
here.
Some Shock Your Mock t-shirts or not? Are those good?
Yeah, that doesn't associated with it. That's not going anywhere. That'll be back next year.
We hope.
If we're here.
Yeah.
But anyway, look me up if you ever need a headband.
Casey has to come up with the song first.
Or I'll say you these aviators.
We'll keep the aviators.
Yeah, they're about $2 at the Halloween store.
Steal. That's a steal. That's
Philly
a bigger steal than the Philly, yeah.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, tracking morning clouds, then afternoon sunshine, becoming mostly sunny and hot with temperatures in the low 90s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjag.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where for a limited time, get 0% financing for 5 years, only at Beard's Diamonds.
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Kinetico makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
August is Black Philanthropy Month, a time to recognize how African American giving enriches our community. From the early days of A.L. Lewis and Eartha M.M. White to today's vibrant networks of Black fraternities, sororities, alumni, and service groups, Black philanthropy is alive and well in Northeast Florida. The Community Foundation for Northeast Florida salutes these historic giving traditions that continue to provide meaningful solutions today. Learn more by visiting jaxcf.org. That's jaxcf.org.
Let's be honest. I'm in the AC business, and even I don't want to buy a new AC system. And yet, the only thing worse than spending money on a new AC is spending it and then not getting the comfort and performance you paid for. Whether it's not seeing the promised comfort or efficiency due to a sloppy install and bad ductwork, or having a home that still feels sticky from inadequate humidity control, or dealing with bad air quality, allergies, mold, or anything else. Investing in a new system to not get the comfort you paid for is total turd buckets. And that's why Griffin Service offers a 12-month test drive on all Florida-rated AC systems. If you're not thrilled with your increased comfort and efficiency, we'll uninstall the system and refund you 100% of your money. And that's for up to 12 months. Install the system now, and you'll still be covered next summer. It's only fair. So, if you need a new system, buy it from the company that'll guarantee you the performance and comfort you're paying for at
GriffinService.com. Here in the Sunshine State, more than 3 million men are over age 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're having problems in the bedroom and pills like Viagra have let you down, you'll see results at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your exam is free. And it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. Guaranteed results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217.
I'm Marcus Roberts, a jazz pianist and a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB prepares students for a lifetime of success, allowing them to do more, be more, and achieve more. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
Hey, boss, I found some silverware in the dining room.
Nice. So you're sure you smashed the alarm system when we got here, right?
You mean that plug-and-play do-it-yourselfer? Yeah, it's dead. We got all the time we need.
Oh, look at this. The box the alarm system came in. Isn't this cute?
An alarm system in a box. Boss, I'll never understand why people don't just get a Safe Touch security system.
And they probably think they're saving money.
But that's the thing, they're not saving money.
You and I know that. Thankfully, these folks didn't. You know, there are a lot of great things that come from a box. This isn't one of them.
True.
Hey, let's just take a minute to appreciate that tonight, we don't have to worry about the Crooks or Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. And remember, kids, boxes and alarm systems don't mix.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Be a half-empty guy, but I was kind of fearful, like, what if we go again? You know, but he's, the one thing about Trevor, he's played decent, you know, all three games. You know, the preseason was fairly new to me, and I learned along the way. So I would judge our preseason. It's a success right now. There's a lot of energy in the locker room. We got 2 weeks to get the strongest version of ourselves. I expect they're going to have 4 days off this week. That's also new to me. So we got to be in great, you can be, if you do those 4 days right, and I'm not talking lay on your butt, but get strong, and we can come back stronger than you were before training camp, which my expectations are that.
That's Urban Meyer. What does he mean by that? I was trying to figure that out. I was like, okay, so if you take 4 days off, yet you come back stronger than even before training camp, because he said that to the guys in the locker room too.
Yeah.
Jaguars.com had that. I was like, what would you, if you were here on this team, and you're in great shape.
Yeah.
You had a tough camp. You played 3 games. You're getting your body right. Like, what does that mean?
I'm going to be honest. I was reading something about the Apple iPhone, the iPhone 13. They just released some of the new features, and we'll get into that later. So sorry.
Is it pretty good? Because that is more important to my life, quite frankly, than if guys are in shape or not.
No, I know it is. But was the question if guys are in shape? Well, you're going to love this coming up. But if guys are in shape?
Well, so here's the deal. Here's what he basically said. He said, these guys are going to have 4 days off this week.
Yes.
They got today off.
Yes.
And they'll have, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, maybe? Or maybe it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere, some combination. So he's got 4 days. And he said if guys do it right, they'll actually be in better shape starting on Monday than they were when they even got to camp.
Correct.
I don't know what that means.
Shape
like, what does he mean?
In terms of, okay, so.
I feel like this is like your taper to fight.
Yeah. So, like, I think he's referring more, like, usually the way cardio goes, like if I'm prepping for a fight, what you've gained over a training camp, over a fight camp, let's say, whether it's 5, 6, 7 weeks at time, in terms of your cardio and your fitness, you're not going to lose in a week. You're just not going to lose it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of the tapering effect. So I think what Urban Meyer's alluding to a little bit is, okay, you're not going to get out of shape in terms of, your cardio and you're going to be sucking wind. But if you go to Las Vegas and go to some pool parties and drink a lot of basic beverages and barley pops and all that stuff, well, then you can do yourself a detriment in terms of the recovery process. And now all of a sudden your body's going to feel worse maybe than when you left training camp. So if guys play it right, if guys take care of themselves, the deep tissue massages, the ice baths, the foam rolling, all that stuff, then by the time they start practice once again, they should be in fantastic shape in terms of their health. But number 2, they haven't lost anything in terms of cardio.
All right. So we'll see if that plays out that way.
The iPhone 13 is going to have a feature where even if you don't have service, you can still make a call because it's going to use a satellite from space. It's going to be connected to a LEO satellite, it's called.
Really?
Yeah. And I got distracted about that.
You did?
And I went down a rabbit hole. How cool is that, though?
Okay, so if you don't have service, you can still make a call.
It's so the iPhone 13 series will feature a low Earth orbit satellite called LEO for communication connectivity, which will allow users to make calls and send messages when their cell signal is not available. Now, does that cost extra? No idea.
But you're excited about it.
Well, how cool is that?
That is
you think that's cool?
Is
like
this, it's not just in case of like emergency?
I think you can use it whenever you want. You can claim emergency if you want, But like if you're in the middle of the ocean and
cell service goes.
Yeah. Boom. Call up Leo.
I'm always surprised by that when I lose a call. I'm like, I guess we take for granted technology, but it's like, why do I feel like I lose more calls now than I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Which we have more cell towers, but we probably have more people using cell phones. But do we have more dark spots or whatever where it just doesn't work? But don't you feel like it goes out? It does for me.
Sometimes, yeah.
Part of it's this dang building.
Well, so I think,
in the dungeon of the office.
So sometimes when you rely on the Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi cuts out or something, have good service. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you there.
All right.
But also, the whole excuse, I didn't get that text message. Well, that's out the window now. That doesn't exist anymore.
That is true.
If you text somebody and they're like, oh, dude, I missed you.
Now you can tell if somebody got it.
Well, I mean, by all means, turn the read receipts off, first of all. I mean, come on now. Unless you're 50 years or over 50 years old, you don't know how to do it, like some family members that I have. But if you have an excuse where, dude, sorry, I didn't see your text. No, you saw it because, text messages work. It's 2021. You just didn't want to respond to it.
So is this Leo like L-E-O?
That is correct.
So my question is the Leo going to be better for the iPhone than it was for the Jags defense? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
No, I like it. I liked it a lot. That was good. I liked it. Now, I'm sure, if Gus Bradley was listening, he'd have some words for you.
I know. Sorry, Gus.
If Todd Wash was listening. Is Todd Wash still coaching?
I think Wash is up. Where did I see him? I think he's up with the D-line job somewhere.
The old Leo comments. I liked it.
I apologize, Gus. I still love you, but I might have just been. It was just low hanging.
Shots fired
there.
from Brett Martin. No, it's all good.
The Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
Looking for.
There you go.
Nice.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Leo better be better for the fall
than it was for the Jaguars.
Yes.
Respect.
That's it. A couple other things to clean up. Look, I told you I did have more bandanas.
Karate Kid.
Some unused. I got the Karate Kid sweep the leg.
Yep.
I got the Minshew 15. And I've got Quarantine 2020. You believe I bought that?
Which is the Corona low.
By the way,
so
these were $15.99 each.
Yeah, I mean, they
just
weren't
want to let you know.
They weren't giving
Maybe
those away.
Maybe I got a sale on it.
Should have took a T-shirt and just
Listen,
cut it, man.
Casey, don't look at me like that.
Can't hide it, can
you?
you?
They won the first game.
Can't hide money, can you, though?
We were going to have Minshew Mondays every Monday. They beat the Indianapolis Colts 1-0. Minshew Mania is going wild.
See?
I bought 3 bandanas.
See what happens, Casey, when you get a new tax bracket that we know nothing about?
Right.
Can't hide money, can you?
That's why I'm not looking at you, because I love the idea. The concept,
genius,
great.
Genius.
The execution was poor due to the fact at some point you had to unload the headbands.
Yeah.
They don't just sit in the backpack.
$15 for a headband.
I wonder if I can send them back. They're unused.
Well, I'm sure. What's the shelf life or whatever? Like, what do you call that? I don't know. I'm not really an adult.
Does that even matter anymore? Is it like a 90-day thing?
Return policy.
Return policy.
There it is. Yeah, there's got to be a return policy on that. I mean, I'm sure it's past it.
I'm sure you can figure it out. My buddy used to bring back, like, he would go get a lawnmower, out of the garbage and bring it back to Home Depot sometimes, and they would return it. Back in the day. I don't know if they still do, but
I feel like they got other things for about the Home Depot.
It's been It's happened.
Maybe you should have just gave the headbands to Minshew, since he's making 6th-round pick money. He might need them.
That's a good point.
I think he made enough in appearances and endorsements.
Dude, he did get some endorsements. Dude, this is like the place of Bud Light for a while, where if you picked him on your fantasy team, you got a free case of Bud Light.
But anyway, Philadelphia, here you are.
Yeah.
Some radio guy in Philadelphia.
That
this might be
teal's going to go good with that green.
Hey, Mike K.
Bring
this out.
There we go.
Mike K, this is for you.
There we go.
I'll give it for you half off.
Nice.
I'll be like all the Jags jerseys in town.
Yeah. But no, see, Brent, I mean, if you're going to sell them, give me those things. I mean, if you're going to sell them, man. All right? You know, like the Home Shopping Network thing?
Yeah, let's see.
All right. So what we have here, we got 3 junk Big Bang light headbands. Now, hang on. What's that? Okay, so we have 3 of them. And listen, we had about 25 about an hour ago. Wait a second. We only have 3 left, everybody. All we have is 3 left of these junk headbands right here. And let's start the price off, I don't know, $500 each one. No, wait, what? Folks, I got a deal for you. They're telling me in the back right now, we're going to drop these things from $500, and let's make that right now $19.99. Get you one of these headbands right now. $19.99. That's as low as we can go, everybody. $19.99. You walk home with a junk Big Bang light headband. Callers are standing by. Let's get it.
That was very good.
There you go.
I think we got it.
There you go.
Thank you for doing that.
You always got to go like it's completely like I don't know. Let's fly by the seat of our pants. This is completely spontaneous. I don't know. Next time you watch Home Shopping Network, probably not.
Yeah, but not in a while, I will say. Like, to the point where I got to ask, does it still exist?
No, it's still there, man. Anytime they're selling knives or like ninja stars, watch what they do. Then they go 14, it was 500, let's go 1775. All right.
Have you watched the Home Shopping Network, Casey?
No, sir.
Like, ever? So you're
No.
familiar with it, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay,
you know
I
what's up with
was
it.
curious about like a younger generation. Do they
True.
watch it at all?
True.
I'm a little surprised it's still on. Must still do well. If it's still on, it does well.
There's this other network that's pretty much like a ripoff of it that bases in Clearwater. I've watched that before. I just can't think of what it's
I
called.
mean, Brent, if there's grandparents with credit cards, there's the Home Shopping Network.
I'm
All
telling
right?
you that
That's-
they all.
Come on.
Every place almost gets me all the time. I almost bought this air fryer the other day.
See, Brent, but it's not even for you, man. It's for the older people, and you're
But
suckering.
Unfortunately, I flipped it on like channel 2 instead of hitting 206. And then all of a sudden, I was stuck buying an air fryer almost. Those people are good, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, so anyway, back to the bandanas.
So 3 bandanas, limited edition, 1 of 1. All right, we have these custom made for Gardner Minshew. Not gonna find these bad boys anywhere. I said 1990. Wait, what's that? Hang on. Brent, I'm getting word right now, and this is unheard of here on the Home Shopping Network. We're going $12.99. All right, I can't go any lower. We're losing money. We're losing money right now, everybody. $12.99 gets you a junk headband right now.
I don't know, Ralph Macchio just bid on this one.
For sure. We got the Ralph Macchio. We got the Gardner Minshew. We got this is so relatable. I mean, everyone, if you want a great gag gift, you got a quarantine 2020. It's 2021, Brent. A little late to the party, but it's all good, right? I said $20 gets you know what? $13.99 gets you the quarantine headband right now. And that's as low as I can go.
What's the number they can call to get them?
Don't give that up.
Star 690.
That's it.
Yeah. I forgot the number of our own show for a second.
Yeah. Hey, good luck with that. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
By the way, we had a couple responses to South Beach Gary's question of Linsanity, the rise and fall.
Oh, okay.
See, here's the thing. Linsanity's gone, right? Like that's never coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, I think Minshew could come back, but it's a good comp.
Yep.
But I think Minshew could come back.
Yep.
I really do. I think we're going to see this. And again, it had a little Fitzpatrick magic to it in that sense. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
Are we okay here? I mean,
okay,
you almost lost it.
Well, yeah.
Like a half hour ago.
How many days until the start of the football season?
11.
Okay. We're 11 days away. There's this thing called the Crate Challenge. You've seen this, Brent. We've talked about it before.
I'm going to do it.
Please don't. Now, there was rumors saying that somebody on TikTok died from doing it. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I mean, you know how I feel about TikTok.
Is that why they started to? They tried to.
So they took it off TikTok.
They did, right?
So anything hashtag Crate Challenge is off TikTok now.
Really?
So it's that serious. Because you know how the clout chasers are. Everyone wants to get some of their clout.
Yeah.
Well, TikTok said no more clout up in here. So now it's more of an Instagram, Twitter kind of thing. Because people are getting hurt.
You know, it had the feel of what was that old stuff? MTV started Jackass. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Doesn't it have a little feel of that?
Yep, for sure.
And now an NFL player is going to try it.
Juju Smith-Schuster, someone just randomly, and he's trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons, so just showed up to a random park, and you see him doing the Crate Challenge. Now, he did it, and it wasn't like an act because the thing started to wobble a little bit as he's coming back down. And I just can't help but think, if you're Mike Tomlin right now, you're, whatever you said, 11 days out from the season starting, and I don't know, your bona fide 2 or 3 slot receiver is trying to do the Crate Challenge, I'd be a little upset.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'd be glad that didn't go get him in free agency if I was the Jags.
So what are we doing, though? You know? Because if you're Smith-Schuster, what do you have to gain?
I still think Juju Smith-Schuster, he's a weird commodity in today's NFL. I thought he would be well sought after in free agency, and he really wasn't.
Well, it's the whole personality, though, man. It's the doing the TikTok videos in the middle of the field.
But even his game, it's not as explosive and as electric
dude's trying
as
to be
his production has been at
dude's
times.
trying to be the Jake Paul of the NFL world.
They're going to have to pull what they did with Aaron Boone in his next contract. You cannot be on TikTok. They told Aaron Boone he couldn't play pickup basketball when he signed with the Reds, and he played pickup basketball and got hurt.
No TikTok.
The Steelers, by the way, Minka Fitzpatrick and Chase Claypool got into it today at practice, apparently.
Is there any video of that?
I haven't seen
I'd
it
love
yet,
to break
but
that
I saw
down.
a report on it.
I'd love to make a TikTok video out of that and break that down.
All this TikTok talk, I'm surprised you're not on TikTok yet.
Nah, we're all good. I'm 33, you know.
We're not talking about Logan Paul. I'm sorry. What's the other one? Jake Paul.
Exactly right. What's his name? I mean, we can talk about it real quick if you want.
Nah, I almost had to. Come on, Sports Center. Like, we have to show the moms in the ring after the fact.
Oh, I know, right?
Really, Sports Center?
Really
Come
driving
on.
the point home.
Come on. We're trying to wear the ESPN thing with pride around here.
Did you hear Jake Paul's message to the kids? Like message to my 6-year-old son? Did you hear that message?
No,
yeah.
I tried not to see anything.
Hey, we're all set.
I only saw what someone shoved in my face.
I just watched it this morning. By the way, stop having pay-per-views on Sunday, huh?
Wait, what was that all about?
Starting at 11:30? I wasn't watching that. I had to be up early the next morning.
Come on,
I watched
WrestleMania you would have watched.
Oh, I would have been there.
We'll be back.
Talking about
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
What's up, Jacksonville? I'm Casey Kurtz. For the first time since September 13th of 2020, the Jacksonville Jaguars have won a football game. The Jags beat the Dallas Cowboys yesterday 34-14, and Trevor Lawrence was the story for the Jags, going 11 for 12 for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. With the win, the Jags finished the preseason 1-2 and will cut their roster down to 53 tomorrow. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp wrapped up a 12-game road trip yesterday with a 4-3 win over the Norfolk Tides. The Shrimp took 5 of 6 from the Tides on the second part of the road trip and finished the road trip in total with a record of 7-5. The Shrimp are off today and will return home on Tuesday to start a 12-game homestand with the Durham Bulls coming to town first. And the JU men and women picked up wins in soccer over the weekend. The men over Wofford and the women over Presbyterian. This Sports Center update sponsored by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
Jeep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He signs the promised land. Touchdown FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long. Right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours. Served in minutes.
Hi, Steve. Have a seat. I just wanted to see how your meeting with Chardonnay went.
Chardonnay?
According to your Peak push-to-talk device, you were with Chardonnay or Porsche or Bambi.
Oh, Bambi, right.
I clicked boop to talk, and I was talking, but you weren't booping.
I can explain.
Love these little things. I know exactly where my people are anytime I need them. Boop.
I was in a boopin' meeting. We got the contract to build the champagne room at the Jiggle and Wiggle Gentlemen's Club.
You have glitter all over your face.
Find your people with a boop. BoopToTalk.com.
Boop.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. It is the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
Progressive's Home and Auto Bundle Extrava Festa Save-a-thon, the annual year-long event for saving big on home and auto insurance. These savings are available up until and straight through Labor Day, Halloween, Grover Cleveland's birthday, Taco Tuesday, the anniversary of the moon landing, White Chocolate Day. The sale literally never ends. You can come on Jupiter's Ascension, National Pisces Day, but not Leap Day. Just kidding. We're doing Leap Day because every day is perfect for saving money with a home and auto bundle only at Progressive. But for real, we're not doing White Chocolate Day because white chocolate is gross. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
If you're anything like me, then cars were an important part of your childhood growing up. Literally, some of my very first memories involved helping my grandpa build old cars. If you're into cars, then you know that the technology is always evolving, which is why there's a demand for well-trained automotive technicians. As a student in the automotive technology program at JTech, you'll be learning basic automotive maintenance, diagnostic procedures, and effective repair methods while using testing equipment and specialized tools. The program also includes training on electrical, HVAC, engine performance, suspension, steering, brake systems, and transmission diagnosis and repair. Their shop settings are designed to represent the actual automotive environments that you will be experiencing when you get into the automotive industry. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So, 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
This is the boost that we get. You know, we're not machines. We're gonna struggle. You know, we're gonna struggle 7 times out of 10, and you know, it just feels bad when we strike out. When I strike out and I get booed, you know, it doesn't really get to me. But like I want to let them know that when we success, we're gonna do the same thing to know how to let them know how it feels. You know, because if we win together, then we gotta lose together. You know, and the fans are really big part of it.
Oh, Javi Baez, why? Don't tell anybody.
Love it. Love it.
Don't tell everybody what you're doing.
Thumbs down.
How about Javi? I mean, here's the thing. You know, you know what's crazy? You know what's worse than stinking in New York? Mm-hmm. Is calling out the fans in New York.
Yeah, it's not going to end well for you, man.
I mean, that's like, you know, you might not come back from that.
Yeah, just go on Twitter and type cryptic stuff like everybody else does in the NFL.
That's it.
What are you doing to do a thumbs down?
So, how about that? I mean, that is wild, right? I mean, first of all, Javi Baez, Lindor, they've done not so great in Metland.
Yeah.
And the Mets have struggled, and the Mets have collapsed, and the Mets stink, and fans are mad, and fans are passionate. And basically what's been going on is when the players do something good, they'll give a thumbs down sign to each other, and that's really mocking the fan.
Yep.
And the funny thing about it is,
oh, the pettiness, I love it.
Here's the funny thing to me. This is what I take from this story. Mm-hmm. There's 2 stories we're going to do in this segment that I are kind of similar in a way. I don't care that they do it for the fans. Like I wouldn't have told anybody I was doing that. I really not even that. If I was a fan, I'm not sure I'd be that offended that they're doing that because of the fan. You know what I'd be most disappointed about if I'm the fan or the organization or anything else? Is that the fans are that much in their head. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a concern for me. Like, if any time I do something good, those people in the stands are so much in my head that I've got to then mock them.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough to worry about in the game. There's enough going on. I have a problem with that because now I'm saying, okay, are we mentally tough enough as a ball club, right? Are you mentally tough enough if I might invest hundreds of millions of dollars in you? I understand you hear it and all that, but you got to know what it is. And if it's consuming you and not just one player, but multiple players, if it's consuming you and that's what you're talking about that much, and I understand why you could talk about it from time to time, it might bother you. But if it's that much that even when you're doing something good, that it still is on your mind, then it's in your head, man. And that's a tough space to get out of. So that would be, from a organizational standpoint, that would drive me nuts. That would be bothersome. I'd wonder where their mentality is playing the game.
But come on. I mean, like, any professional sport, and it seems like more nowadays than ever, like they're self-aware of what the fans say to them. They're self-aware of how the fans treat them.
Right,
yeah,
Twitter,
and the cell
everything.
phone helps exactly. But then we talk about baseball, which is obviously a slower paced game where, you know, you can take some time and look out in the stands and hear what they're saying. I mean, it amplifies the situation. So I can't say that I'm surprised that this has come out. Now, once again, the whole thumbs down thing and actually telling what it means, I probably wouldn't have done that. You know, don't snitch on yourself, per se, because it never ends well for you. But, I mean, this is where we're at now with the modern athlete.
Yeah. Does this tell you that they're soft for doing this? Does this tell you that is it kind of funny to you as an athlete? Like,
I think it's funny.
Listen, you guys got booed. You played on a 2-14 team. How much did it bother you? Or do you think it bothers you in just certain positions? Like, is it just like the quarterback that's hearing that more and it's more pointed at them? Or do you take it personal?
No,
from an athlete perspective, how much does it genuinely, how much do you take that home with you? Take it in the locker room. How much conversation was when all the Jags fans were booing 2-14?
Yeah. Well, first of all, there's nothing worse than losing. Okay, like, fans always want to pull the card. Well, they don't care, right? The way they play that. No, trust me. You would much rather win any kind of sporting event than to lose it. And if you lose 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, 10 in a row, yeah, that sticks with you. That's the most important thing. It's losing first and foremost, which hurts you the most. But then when you hear the boos, when you hear, the negativity, which is obviously, I think it's rightly put out there just because, the fans can do whatever they want. They pay money. They pay their hard-earned money. They give up their weekend, or if it's baseball, they give up whatever it is to come watch you play. So if they bought the ticket, they can really, I guess, say whatever they want as long as they keep within reason in terms of, all that stuff. And you can't throw stuff at players either. But just because you can do that doesn't mean, players can't notice that and retaliate how they feel fit. And to me, how the Baez is doing right now, it's more of just like, yeah, the situation that we find ourselves in, it sucks. And it's not fun to be of, but at least we're in this together. And, being in it together means, hey, if we make a good play, let's give a thumbs down. Because only we know what that means. And that's kind of like, hey, us, being together on this and facing that storm. Now, when you snitch on yourselves, you tell yourselves what you're doing, well, now that adds a whole different element that you probably don't want. So I get the whole thumbs down thing in terms of if you didn't say anything. But I can't co-sign on, snitching and then being like, here's why we're doing it.
Yeah,
screw the fans.
It becomes such a joke in New York that the GM and the all the brass has to come down, have a meeting and be like, this is not tolerated, doing this toward the fans. I mean, this sounds like 12-year-old stuff.
It's crazy.
Right? I mean, they're big leaguers.
I love it, though. That's funny,
And you
man.
got management coming down in the locker room saying, hey, this is not going to be tolerated. You're going to be out of here if you put a thumbs down.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the circus now is in the Mets land because of this.
Yeah. but at the end of the day, like I said, I think it's funny, man. Like, if I was a Mets fan, I'd be like, yeah, I probably said one too many things after one too many beers. It is what it is.
Yeah. And by the way, I love Javi Baez. To me, is one of the most exciting players in the game, if not the most exciting. Yeah. But this is not a good start in New York for him. I didn't get to the other guy on this. We will, DeChambeau, but really mostly coming up is football at 5. We're going to do the 53-man roster. It's on the way on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
The Community Spotlight Award this week goes to Beaver Toyota. Beaver Toyota is a partner in the community. They have a Random Act of Wow program that they see as a way of paying it forward. If you see Mike or Linda Beaver, Nick Ruther, or anyone from Beaver Toyota this week, thank them for being a great partner in the community. The Community Spotlight Award recognizes those that are great community partners. Again, this week the Community Spotlight Award goes to Beaver Toyota. Congrats to Beaver Toyota.
It's a national sales event at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, and Arlington's got over 400 used available. Yep, 400. Come to Arlington Pre-Owned and you'll find Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, imports, domestics. Arlington's got it all. Plus, during the national sales event, enjoy no payments until 2022. 2022. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange program with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/August for full details.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution.
I'm Dr. Brown. 98% of patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217. See results on your first visit guaranteed or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks R Us Training Helpline. Today, we're discussing the differences between a Safe Touch security system and a do-it-yourself security system.
One's professionally installed and monitored, while the other one comes in a box.
Well, yeah, there's that. As you know, houses with Safe Touch security systems are strictly off-limits to us crooks, for many reasons.
Professional installation and monitoring among them.
Correct. And by contrast, alarm systems that come in a box with do-it-yourself installation are a crook's best friend.
Plus, they have DIY monitoring. No comparison to Safe Touch's two-way communicator.
Excellent point. So to sum up, As crooks, you'll want to avoid any house with safe touch security. And tell your loved ones if they're going to buy something that comes in a box, just make it cornflakes.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
The Labor Day savings inside the Home Depot means something different once you're back out there doing. In here, it's a Lillard White vanity. Out there, it's the half bath you fully finished. In here, it's a bag of Miracle Grow garden soil. Out there, it's a lush backyard that's worthy of company. So, get back out there with store-wide savings for house-wide doing. Only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Jason Fitz.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Colts placed 3 players on the COVID-19 list: quarterback Carson Wentz, center Ryan Kelly, and receiver Zach Pascal, after coming into close contact with a team staff member who tested positive. This was supposed to be a big week for Wentz in his recovery from foot surgery. He hopes to play week 1. Patriots coach Bill Belichick still not ready to tip his hand whether Cam Newton or Mac Jones will be his starting quarterback for week 1. His answer to QB questions today: they'll do what's in the best interests of the team. If Jones starts, New England's one of the AFC's elites, believes ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
It's about ball distribution at the quarterback. It's about ownership at the line of scrimmage. It's about being completion driven. It's about playing a disciplined style of football for 4 quarters over the course of a 16 or now 17 game season. That's exactly who Mac Jones is as a quarterback. He's the best quarterback on the team now.
A return to New Orleans for the Saints is unlikely this week as that region deals with the devastation caused by Hurricane Ida. It's unclear at this point if the Saints will be able to host the Packers as scheduled in the opener on September 12th.
Look like $1 million with Dollar Shave Club. Upgrade to a DSC 6-blade razor and get an extra close shave thanks to their 6 precision-cut stainless steel blades. Find your perfect shave wherever you shop, in-store and online at dollarshaveclub.com. That's dollarshaveclub.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, no, always is. Felt great out there, obviously. I think we just executed a lot better than we have the past 2 games, so it was just great to see. It's a good feeling. A lot better feeling coming to the locker room today as opposed to this time last week. So just one step in the right direction. Got to keep getting better. Now they're going to count for real. So just putting everything we have into getting ready for Houston. But it was a great, builds a lot of confidence going into the season. It's nice to finish the preseason with a game like that.
That is Trevor Lawrence. Football at 5 coming up. We're going to do the 53-man roster live on the air. This is our meeting. Like our meeting for it is happening live on the air. Trent Baalke, Urban Meyer, anybody else in the room. This is what we're doing. We're deciding the 53. Could have some heated battles here. Went from the Home Shopping Network to making decisions in an NFL building.
Do we still have those available, or are they sold out now?
Sold.
Okay. Gotcha.
$39.99, I think, was the final price.
Gotcha.
Made money off that deal.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick golf thought, because I know you love it. Do you need to get a wrestling comment in? How's wrestling this week?
You can go, depending how much golf talk we get into, depends on how much wrestling talk I will diverge. So you start, and then I'll follow. Brett Martineau to serve, everybody.
I think the Bryson DeChambeau stuff was on display again last night. Now, I was flying back, so I didn't watch a lot of this. It was a great playoff, really, between Patrick Cantlay and Bryson DeChambeau, and Cantlay won. But it's the antics and the stuff and everything around DeChambeau. There's a really good article on ESPN.com about everything, if you get a chance to read it, and just the whole persona. And what the big takeaway for me is, I'm not like a huge, I can't stand DeChambeau. I'm not a huge, I love DeChambeau. I'm kind of in a weird place with both guys, like Koepka and everything. But I really am starting to think, I'm a Ryder Cup guy, all right? Like, the Ryder Cup matters to me. I want the United States to win the Ryder Cup, and I'm starting to think that Bryson DeChambeau alone is going to cost the United States the Ryder Cup, because Brooks Koepka doesn't like him. Patrick Cantlay, who's probably like the nicest guy on the planet, doesn't like him. You know, you've already got some other beefs with Koepka and probably other guys. Patrick Reed, if he plays, I mean, he's been sick, right? It's pneumonia, I think he's got.
Double pneumonia.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't even know if he's going to be back, but he's already kind of a polarizing figure. And this is, again, this is a sport and an event that the United States has struggled to actually have camaraderie and team play, and something they've really worked on. Good luck. Good luck at those, like, player wives events this year at Whistling Straits. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
They're going to be at 12 different restaurants. You know?
By the way, shout out to Whistling Straits, Wisconsin. It's Kohler, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I've done my research.
I want to go play there.
It's supposed to be a pretty
Can you
nice
get us
spot.
on? You know anybody?
No.
I would like to go there. I would like to go there.
I think I don't even know where Kohler is. Kohler by Madison?
Not from Wisconsin, dude.
Yeah, I know, and I am, but I don't know where Kohler is.
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
I can tell you right now, the United States will lose if Bryson DeChambeau's on the team. There's no.
Well, he's
going
to be on the team. I mean, he's going to be on the team.
Then they lose.
Cantlay made the team, I think, with a win yesterday, right?
He got the last automatic spot.
So, I mean, you're not a DeChambeau guy.
No.
Are you a Koepka guy?
Yes, but I am not negative DeChambeau because of positive Koepka, if that makes sense.
Okay, it's not one or the other for you.
No. I like Brooks, but it's the science and it's the I can't take anything. Like, I can't be called anything, and it's a problem. Like, imagine if that flew in any other sport. This dude would be long gone out of any league, because I'm sure maybe Austin can attest to this. You hear much worse things than somebody calling you Brooksy if you play another sport like baseball or football or something.
Yeah, I think so. You know, like,
yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, if someone called me like Austie, like, okay, not the most ideal situation, but I'll get over it. Like, you call Urban Meyer Herbs, and I haven't heard any complaints yet.
Yeah. Okay.
If I was, I would complain if I was.
What I wondered about a little bit about, like in Mickelson, if you asked him about this back in the day, you know, the Tiger stuff. Listen, people, from a sports perspective, you'd say, really, like, you're mad that Tiger's playing in front of you or behind you because the crowds, like, really, that sounds so stupid. Well, it's so different. Right? It's so different that it doesn't happen in your sport, that it's not what you're accustomed to. You didn't grow up playing like that. That bothered people. Like, go ask any golfer, and the swarms of crowds that were with Tiger, it wasn't the roar of the crowd. It was more the movement of the crowd.
Yeah.
And, of course, they wanted everybody to lose and fall flat on their face just for Tiger to win, you know? So they were rooting against you in a sport that not too many people hardcore root against you, right? And
not a lot of booing out there.
There's not too many golfers that people root against.
Yeah.
But Mickelson had to deal with a little bit of that because it was either Tiger or Phil. And then I think some of when Phil got back, when Tiger came back most recently, people were so welcoming to Tiger coming back that it didn't bother him as much. But it was kind of like, hey, I want you to lose because I want Tiger to win. And so there was rooting against you, which just, again, doesn't happen in the sport. I'm trying to think of the villains of golf. Patrick Reed has become one, which is good for the game in a lot of ways. DeChambeau's been good for the game. Koepka, not everybody loves him. But it really reminds me more of like Colin Montgomery back in the day. Like Montgomery, the Americans hated Montgomery. We just talked about Ian Poulter for a little bit. Before Poulter got to social media, he rescued his fandom on social media because he became such a character that people fell in love with him. Before that, people didn't like him at all in the United States, mostly because of his Ryder Cup success, but also he's kind of had like an arrogant feel to him. So it's the DeChambeau thing is fascinating, but I'll tell you, go read the ESPN.com article. It's really interesting. And my view on, I just love the Ryder Cup, and it's the only time I root against a guy like Rory McIlroy. I want the United States to win the Ryder Cup, and I think it's going to be a painful watch for the United States on the Ryder Cup, and I think it's going to centrally locate around the whole Koepka, DeChambeau, and more on DeChambeau thing. Yeah. I think people are, even when you have people in the United States rooting against your guy, and that happened to Patrick Reed a little bit in the President's Cup and Ryder Cup, like people were rooting against like the American. Like it was so odd, but I felt like it was happening. And I kind of feel like that's going to happen to DeChambeau. It's a weird scene.
Speaking of weird scenes, AEW All Out taking place this weekend. And I say weird scene because Hangman Page, a couple months ago was slated to wrestle Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. That falls through because, there's rumors coming that CM Punk was going to join, the roster of AEW. I think everybody assumed it would be Kenny Omega and CM Punk, but that's not the case for All Out. It's actually going to be Kenny Omega, Christian Cage, CM Punk, Darby Allin. So this means that Hangman Page does not have a dance partner, and he's been absent from AEW Dynamite. So the question remains, what happened to Hangman Page? A guy that was in such, a spotlight, and now he's nowhere to be found, and we haven't really heard anything about it. So that's an interesting storyline to follow. Also, keep in mind with All Out, does Daniel Bryan make an appearance now? Because Daniel Bryan rumored to have signed a contract with AEW. CM Punk actually teased at his last promo that he cut. So Daniel Bryan is coming. The question remains, will it be at All Out, or will it be when they do the whole thing at the tennis courts in New York, the Arthur Ashe thing?
The U.S. Open.
The U.S. Open. So keep an eye on that as well. And WWE news, we got Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar right now going
at the tennis courts.
Hey. And by the way, and by the way, no, they're going to Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, the tennis court place. And by the way, you talked about 15 minutes, so I'm going to get about good 5 minutes of wrestling talk here. You got Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar playing the face now, Roman Reigns playing the heel. How does The Rock eventually fall into this equation? Does he fall in the equation? And also, do you put the belt on Brock Lesnar, or is he a beast without the belt? We'll find out about that one as well.
I only like hearing about the AEW.
Okay.
A little more CM Punk talk.
Okay.
And by the way, CM Punk coming out with like a trading card set.
He is.
Did you see that?
And he's doing all the interviews on ESPN. Yeah, and trade card set too. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
SmackDown, by the way, in Jacksonville this week. Does that mean that there's going to be some sort of fight on the street? Like, is Kenny Omega flying in and he's like, nah, I'm not letting this happen in our city?
Is Tony Khan shut something down? I mean,
is SmackDown in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I wonder what. Hey. So is that's got to be a
you
thing.
Better just keep going south to Orlando.
Wasn't there talk?
Man.
Actually, that's a good call because there was talk of WrestleMania at one time coming to Jacksonville, and then with the AEW and the launch of that, now the success of that, I think that's really like a lot of thought. Like, well, now it's not going to come here most likely.
Well, keep in mind
it's not gonna come to the Jags Stadium.
Yeah. No.
The Jags ownership group.
It's going to be the Veterans. Yeah, no, for sure. But
but the Veterans Memorial Arena isn't big enough for WrestleMania. That's my point.
WrestleMania. I got you. Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
No. But it's interesting because if you remember when AEW
I can talk wrestling with you.
Yeah, all right.
You have these kind of takes in golf.
Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau crying. What else is new? I mean, really moving the needle right now. The guy's a crybaby. Look at the way he dresses. Look at the way he acts. What else is new in the golf world? But, it's interesting because when AEW first came to fruition, remember they had, I think it was a Raw in Jacksonville, and Tony Khan the same night had the press conference thing for AEW before Raw started. Yeah, there's a little.
That's great, man.
There's a little competitiveness there. I wonder if there's something in the works.
How fantastic would it be is when SmackDown comes on the air and they take the first camera shot in the background is Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Britt Baker. They're just there, in the front row.
Well, that's what happened when they did the what do they call it, the Thunderdome or whatever it was, where it's just like the Skype videos. Kenny Omega was in a couple of them, and they actually banned him from being able to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's a fun thing. And if I'm Tony Khan, like, hey, this is my city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This
is my city for wrestling.
Get to stepping.
Get back to Orlando.
Get to stepping. Yeah, that's what I would do.
All right. You ready?
We good? Were we all balanced now?
I'm good.
I feel good about
it. Before we do the 53-man roster, which may take a minute or two, you got to share a story, Casey.
Oh, right.
So you had an interesting weekend.
Yeah, I had two.
I have no idea. I haven't heard these stories.
I have two horrible tournament events. So the first one is I had a fantasy football draft. Was drafting, doing my thing, doing good. Picked J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, no.
Things are chilling. and I'm so happy with my team, I send a text. And this is at like 7 o'clock at night. So it's literally, yeah. So I sent a text.
Don't gloat, man.
I'm like, look at this team, bro. How did I pull this off? He's like, you saw what just happened to Dobbins. I'm like, what? So I check it out. It was like 3 minutes after I pick him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you see with J.K. Dobbins, by the way, what he liked on Twitter?
No.
Because people were questioning Harbaugh keeping those guys in, like the ones in or whatever. And J.K. Dobbins liked a bunch of those tweets questioning what Harbaugh was doing keeping the ones in. Little drama brewing in Baltimore.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry.
That's a typical, it feels like a typical player thing, like in hindsight. I bet you wanted to play. I guarantee a lot of those guys are begging to play until they get hurt, you know?
Sure. But fans have a right to be upset, I would say.
Yeah,
I have a right to be upset.
And so does Casey. More than upset than anybody.
So the second thing that happened actually happened first, but this is the main event here. So I ordered breakfast at a establishment in the city that I don't know if I should name or not. But I'm pretty upset.
Don't.
Okay.
I can guess what it is.
They're famous for one thing.
Don't.
And
I want to say it.
So I order and it says 10:44 pickup, right?
All right.
Okay. 10:44. So I show up at what time? I show up at 10:44.
Oh, that's
and I'm
good.
like,
I would have showed
okay.
at 10:48.
Brett's usually late.
It's true. So I say, I have a to-go order for Amanda. That's my fiance's name. And she's like, did you do it on the app or on the website? I said, on the website. She said, okay, it'll be out in a minute. So I stand there for like 10 minutes. And somebody else comes for an online order and they get it. So then it's like 20 minutes. And I made the mistake. I wore the Action Sports Jags shirt. So I was like, I can't complain under any circumstances because I'm definitely getting fired. So now there's like 8 people for to-go orders. It's been 30 minutes, so I call in the reserves. That's Amanda wearing a non-Action Sports Jack shirt.
Good.
And she comes in.
Company guy.
Good.
And she comes in. I kind of back away from the situation.
Sure you do.
And
you
she throws her fit. And she's like, it's been 30 minutes. What's going on? And they tell her that when you order food online, you should not be given a time because if you came into the restaurant, you wouldn't know what time you're getting your food.
Oh,
that's an interesting.
You can't say stuff like that.
So I'm wondering if anybody has ever ordered food and just said, well, it'll be ready sometime. We'll just go pick it up later.
Yeah.
Later.
Oh, they definitely didn't care, did they?
They didn't care at all.
Wow.
Now,
So much for customers always right.
Now, since you're wearing your Action Sports Jack shirt, did you tip them?
I think that's all done through the online. So I didn't place the order. So Amanda placed the order. I don't know if there was a tip.
Who's better at fighting that fight, you or Amanda?
Amanda.
Oh, good.
See,
so is my wife. My wife's way
I'm kind
better.
of like you in a way, Brent, where it's like, this
I'm the
is
same
bad.
way too, man.
But then when I know when things are bad, I'm like, you can take it, and she just comes in straight up.
I'm so non-confrontational, which is crazy because I fight for a living too. But with that stuff, I just whatever.
So after
I'll wait an hour if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
That's why you're good at the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, very warm and welcome.
Other people with online orders then come up to Amanda and say, yeah, we've been now they're pissed now, and Amanda has got them all riled up. So now there's an angry mob at this establishment, and I tell you, within 3 minutes later, our food came out, and we got a refund.
Done.
Amanda is so good at
calling the closer.
So that turns out
calling in Josh Hader.
So when you come home, you're like, hey, you know what? That was a pretty good hour.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Free food.
Hey, food was
I'll
good.
I'll take it.
Food was still hot.
I'll take it.
And I didn't pay for it.
I'll take it.
But they doubled down on the you should not be given a time to pick up your food. I'm just
That's
like
odd.
I'm just like legally.
Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well.
Do you know what place it was?
No, I haven't really thought hard about it.
But that's all I've been thinking about it. Oh, no, that's fine.
Look at the rundown if you're confused. I put some letters.
No, I'm pretty sure I know it. Oh, yeah. I know.
All right. You ready for the 53-man roster?
Ben.
Are you okay? You feel pretty good? You got that off your chest.
Great.
Didn't it? I got my almost non-tipping story off my chest. I feel so much better than I have all weekend.
Can I just say one quick thing before about my weekend? And I knew that's the place what it was.
Yeah.
So I cornered some fighters, in Tallahassee. Yeah. So Fat, the guy I was talking about, broke his hand in the first round. Didn't matter. Still won the fight via decision.
Really?
Yeah.
3 rounds.
3 rounds. Broke his hand literally 20 seconds into the fight. Comes back, says, I broke my hand. I'm like, all right, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Just won by decision?
Won by decision.
Good for him.
I mean, unanimous, like a good performance. But yeah, broke his hand in 2 spots.
What was his name?
So we call him Fats, but his name is Ramon Tabares.
You know what me and Fats had in common?
No, what do you got?
We both needed a drink after our experiences on the weekend.
The good vibes. Taste me the islands, and every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good vibes.
It's a celebration!
Seemed like we needed the happy hour horn at various times all weekend long. But
Yes.
you got to hear it at 5 o'clock on ESPN 690, brought to you by Vida de Luis. VitaDeLuis.com. Check them out. 3 different flavors where you can find a bottle of Vida de Luis tequila and Añejo, Blanco, Reposado. Only locally owned tequila in Jacksonville and Jax Beach. Vida de Luis tequila. VitaDeLuis.com. All right, well, maybe have a toast when the 53-man roster is all set. Let's do offense rather quickly. I think this could be specialists. We got it. 3 specialists made the team.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 50.
Okay.
Are you not? Are you cutting Josh Lambo?
No.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
I'm just making sure we're on the same
checking.
page here.
All right. Just
Yeah,
Trent Baalke and
we're
Urban
good.
Meyer, we agree on that. We're
Yes,
good.
yes, we're good. We're good.
Quarterbacks. Is it a 2 or 3 quarterback room?
I see 2 with a practice squad eligible player in Jake Luton.
All right. I agree with you.
Okay.
I think that's where we are going.
Okay.
Running backs. Is it a 4 running back room?
I do think it's going to be a 4 running back room.
So?
James Robinson, Carlos Hyde, Ogunbowale, and Ozigbo.
Yeah, Ozigbo, I'll tell you, I know the last regime liked Ozigbo a bunch.
Yeah.
We got to see him on display yesterday, and I get it. I get the part of the game it was in. It looked pretty good.
Yep. I just hope that they keep Ogunbowale because I actually learned how to pronounce his name right. And it took me about, I don't know, a year.
Yeah.
And now you cut him, and I'm going to be very upset.
Well,
so.
I tell you, I know they like him on special teams a lot.
Good.
I can tell you also Urban Meyer struggles to say his name. So
Does he? Hey, Urban, you want a little advice, man? I got Ogunbowale and I got Giannis Adetokounmpo, man. Come on me sometime. I got you.
All right, I'm going to save this one for a minute. Tight ends. I'm
Yes.
going to skip by the wide receivers.
Okay.
So we got 4 running backs. We got 2 quarterbacks. Tight ends. This is interesting now.
Mm-hmm.
Money teams keep 4 tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Could keep 3 tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
You only have 5 on the roster to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
What are you keeping?
I think, well, just, okay, for the sake of just tight ends right now, I'll explain myself later. I think they keep 3 tight ends.
Okay.
I obviously Chris Manhertz, O'Shaughnessy, and then Luke Farrell because he's the rookie. I think Tyler Davis and Ben Elfson get released. I think Tyler Davis could be a practice squad eligible guy. That's about it.
Okay. Then let's go to wide receivers because they go hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how many tight ends are you keeping?
I initially am keeping 4, but this will be a good conversation for us to have since we're making this. We need some conversation.
Well, okay, because I mean you're the GM right now, and it seems like you don't have a good idea of where this roster is going to go.
No, I do.
Okay.
Okay. I have Ben Ellefson or Tyler Davis. But I know that we like Ellefson all camp. He hasn't been as good in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So did we see enough in the spring and in the early part of camp to keep Ellefson around?
So I think when you have guys who, and once again, I'm going to compare this later on in another example here, but Ben Ellefson, you watch the preseason film, what did he stand out to you or not?
No.
So when you have guys like that, and keep in mind, other teams are watching the preseason, and Ben Ellefson doesn't really pop up, you have a good shot at keeping on the practice squad. So that's why I think he's going to be in the practice squad.
And I think the same could be said about Tyler Davis.
Yeah.
In terms of keeping him on the practice
squad.
squad.
I think one of those guys, maybe even 2 of those guys will, because, it's extended rosters now at the practice
Now, keep
squad.
in mind, the way if you got 3 and even 4, that you really have 1 pass-catching tight end. That's James O'Shaughnessy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Farrell's not a pass-catching tight end. Manhertz can do it, but he's a blocking tight end.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
So that's interesting in itself. All right, let's go to wide receivers.
Yes.
6 or 7?
7.
Oh, this is where I had 6 if I keep my 4 tight ends. Chenault, Marvin Jones, DJ Chark. Sorry, I couldn't find him. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Jamal Agnew.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now
Dorsett.
it gets interesting.
No, Dorsett. I think they keep Dorsett.
Dorsett.
Now it gets interesting.
Farrell Cooper.
Yeah. So this is where I went back and forth on. Because essentially Farrell Cooper, they brought him in, I get it, but he had 1 preseason game to set himself apart. So to me, when I looked at Farrell Cooper and I looked at guys like Tyler Davis and Ben Ellefson, I said, which guy gives you more bang for the buck in terms of special teams and in terms of maybe being called upon in an offensive situation? Advantage Farrell Cooper.
Yeah, because he can return the kicks, and that's what about Colin Johnson?
And I think Colin Johnson also makes the team too, but that's more for me just being stubborn more than anything. Because I think he offers you something that no other receiver can offer in terms of his size. The guy can do backflips on the field, give me that athleticism, and try to make it work somehow.
So what about Jalen Camp, the draft pick?
Back to my point with Tyler Davis or Ben Elfson. How much of Jalen Camp have we seen during the preseason?
Not much.
In terms of games?
Not much.
Where was Jalen Camp drafted?
6th round.
Okay. Now, usually when you have a guy, so if you come off a 1-15 season, you keep all those guys on the team, like on the active roster. Because how do you justify drafting somebody if you're not going to even keep them? At the same time, though, if we're talking about a 6th round pick, and we're talking about a guy that a lot of teams have not seen, I think you can stash him away on the practice squad. Now, if a team comes a poaching, then maybe you got to sign him. But I think he starts out in the practice squad.
All right, so here's what's interesting. Those guys played well yesterday. The new Devin Jones.
Yep.
Devin Smith.
Devin Smith.
Great catch.
Yes.
Cotton, great catch. Almost 2 great catches. Mm-hmm. Is it enough to make the team? Probably not.
Unfortunately
right?
not. No,
in the 11th hour.
And I think with guys like Laquan Treadwell, who I was kind of surprised didn't really get utilized that much towards the end of the last game, and I think the Saints too didn't really have a good showing. And then you have Taven Austin, who
he's hurt a little bit.
Yeah, we don't know the severity of the injury. So I think you keep 7, and I think Austin, and I think that I think Austin and Treadwell off that list.
Yeah, I think Austin, Treadwell, and I think Colin Johnson's going to have trouble staying on this team. So what we got to talk about will be 7th receiver, 4th tight end, or what about an extra lineman? We'll come back to it in a moment. We'll get to the offensive line in just a moment. Let's get to our Florida Sportsman Fishing Report right now. Bring in Rick Riles. Hope the weekend was well, man.
Well, it didn't start out very well. It was really sloppy on Saturday with a lot of wind, but it got better on Sunday, much like our Jaguars did. I gotta ask you, Brent, is on the waiver wire, is offensive line the first thing you're looking for?
I think it's tight end or offensive line could come into play. The problem is they're not going to find anybody on the waiver wire they'll plug right into the offensive line. Again, I'll say it again. They like their offensive line. They're starting guys. Could they add more depth? Potentially. But I don't think they're getting anybody off the waiver wire. They're just going to plug in and say, hey, we need an upgrade, and here's an upgrade. Tight end, they could certainly do that.
I understand. All right, well, let's talk about fishing then. Sunday got better. I talked to Robert Johnson from the Jody Lynn, and it was not rough yesterday. It was not rough today. For whatever reason, the kingfish down in St. Augustine slowed down dramatically. Now, the boats converted over at midday and did pretty well on vermilion snapper and mangrove snapper. The boats that were out deep water bottom fishing did real well on mutton snapper and a few gag grouper to go with them. Inshore, the redfish have been exceptional. They are biting on the high tide, which we don't often see. Flounder have slowed a little bit this week. They're not quite as good, but I look for them to get better if we get a few days of toward the lower tide at dusk. We will start to see better flounder fishing. I think all in all, it's going to be a pretty good week. We may have a northeaster coming in this weekend, so keep an eye on it. We'll be back to talk about that tomorrow and a whole lot more with another fishing report from Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing.
All right, Rick, appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Thank you, Brent. You too.
All right, that's Rick Riles. Each and every day, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. All right, we got to take a break. We come back, offensive line and the defense, and we're a little hung up. We're going to have some conversations still about the wide receiver, extra wideout, extra tight end, extra offensive lineman. What do you keep? It's a numbers game, and the Jags do have a ton of receivers that you can make a case for in the backside. Laquan Treadwell, Colin Johnson. I'll even throw Josh Hammond's name in the mix. Jalen Camp, they drafted. Be really interesting to see what they see special teams wise. Who's different? Colin Johnson's a little bit different height wise. Is he fast enough though for a team that's looking for speed like some of those other guys might be? We will continue to talk about it and break down the rest of the team as the 53-man roster. We're deciding live on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 when we come back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear tonight, dropping into the 70s. Hot and humid tomorrow, partly sunny, but we will start to see the return of a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms with highs in the low to mid 90s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where for a limited time, get 0% financing for 5 years, only at Beard's Diamonds.
Galaxy Builders, they're out of this world. Galaxy Builders, they're out of this world.
Galaxy Builders is hiring qualified roof repair technicians. Roof repair technicians receive a $5,000 signing bonus and base salary starting at $52,000 a year with paid holidays and 401k plan. Galaxy Builders will provide a company truck with all necessary tools and materials. Experienced roof repair technicians can fill out the Contact Us form at galaxyfla.com to schedule an interview.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Today, I took someone to their first job.
Today, I helped someone get to a medical appointment.
Today, I helped someone see their loved ones.
Today, I took someone to see a concert.
JTA bus operators are professional, trained, courteous, and proud. Become a driver of change. JTA is now hiring bus operators and is offering $10,000 to $15,000 hiring bonuses. On-the-job training provided. CDL training available. To apply, log on to go.jtafla.com/drive or call 904-630-3100. That's 630-3100 to become a driver of change.
Personal injury law firm Fair & Fair is now accepting applications for its 2nd annual Empowering Greatness Scholarship Program. Fair & Fair will award 5 rising high school seniors across Florida a 2-year college plan. The plan prepays tuition, registration fees, and 60 credit hours at any of the 28 Florida colleges. To be eligible, students must attend a public or charter school. Visit fairandfair.com/scholarship.
Temperatures keep climbing and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
When you think about Jacksonville, you think about a city that is surrounded by water. And being by water afforded Jacksonville to have one of the largest container ports in the entire country. And another fun fact that RV sales are at all-time high right now. But what does this all mean? What am I getting at? It means that there's high-paying jobs available for those that know the ins and outs of the marine side and of the land side of recreational vehicles. And this is where JTech comes into play. JTech offers a program where you can learn about the diagnostic procedures and effective repair methods of a variety of recreational vehicles, including motorhomes and RVs, power boats, jet skis, diesel and gasoline, outboard and inboards, and much more. And they also help prepare students to take the Yamaha certification exam, which is required in the Marine Maintenance Certification Program. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out because when you find the perfect home, you don't want to lose it to anybody else. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers and their agents greater confidence in you. We've already helped over 1 million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this, what can help you buy the home you really want? Rocket can. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. That's rocketmortgage.com or call 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Yeah, obviously that's ideal. You know, when the call comes in, you want to keep it on and be able to ride with it and feel good about it. But there's some situations where you have to check. You got to, change your protection. You got to check into something else. That happens. Didn't happen a ton this game while I was in there. Some of the guys that came in later in the game did a great job of just being able to check and flip things around and did an awesome job. But no, it's always a good feeling when it's clicking and we're making the plays and when the first progression's coming open a lot and when we're getting through the progressions fast. It's great.
That is Trevor Lawrence, who looked great yesterday. Try not to use that word very often, but he did. 11-12. 154.5 passer rating, couple touchdowns as well. Everything you wanted happened yesterday for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence in the offense. So that was a nice showing. And a 34-14, nice pounding of the Dallas Cowboys. That doesn't hurt either. It's good to get a W for the Jags over the Cowboys. All right, let's finish up our 53-man roster before we run out of time. We'll be short on it. Quarterback-wise, you got Trevor. You got C.J. Beathard, hoping Jake Luton makes it on the practice squad. You got Divine Azigbo, Carlos Hyde, James Robinson, Dare Agumbawale for your 4 running backs. I don't think there's a lot of conversation outside of those guys. Wide receiver now, 6 or 7. Austin says 7. I'm kind of in 6. We might have to debate that depending on the linemen and everything else. Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones, Philip Dorsett, Farrell Cooper, DJ Chark, Jamal Agnew, and Colin Johnson. According to Austin, Colin Johnson's the debatable one right now, and I love Colin Johnson.
Yeah.
But I just wonder about his spot on the roster. Do they like him as much? I think, by the way, if Colin Johnson does get cut, I think he lands somewhere, and I think he's a pretty good football player. I just don't know exactly if he's the fit right now here. We'll see. James O'Shaughnessy, Chris Manhertz, and Luke Farrell, 3 tight ends for Austin. I say if you add a 4th and take away a Colin Johnson, it would be Ben Ellison. Now we go to the offensive line. This is pretty easy, right? I mean, you got Cam Robinson, Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, A.J. Cann, Jawan Taylor. Then in the backup role, you have Tyler Shatley. You have Ben Barch, who can play both guard spots. You have Walker Little, who has practiced at both sides, maybe from a swing tackle perspective, and could push Cam Robinson a little bit to get in the lineup at some point. Played well yesterday. And then there's Will Richardson. Will Richardson can play every position other than center, basically, on the line. They've thrown him in there. He's primarily more of a tackle. My question to you is, do you keep both guys? Will Richardson, you're going to keep Walker Little. But doesn't Walker Little kind of accomplish some of the stuff that Will Richardson does? He was your swing tackle last year.
No, for sure. So, in terms of the depth, it was either do I keep a 4th tight end or do I keep, I think it would have been a 9th offensive lineman, and I went advantage Will Richardson just because he has the starting experience. He is a swing guy. He can play both guard or tackle. I think the more guys can have that from a depth perspective, the better. So I took Will Richardson over someone like Ben Ellison or Tyler Davis.
Okay, so you were going to pull from the offense. See, I could see them keeping 8 offensive linemen.
Sure.
And cutting Will Richardson. I could see them keeping 6 and cutting Colin Johnson on the receivers front. I think you make a good case that, okay, are some of those guys more valuable than Ben Ellison? Is it just a tight end position that we don't see all the time? Is it that they're already weak on that position? I could come around on that. I'd probably rather have a Will Richardson or a Colin Johnson than Ben Ellison or even a Laquan Treadwell than Ben Ellison.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
So But I'm really scouring the waiver wire on tight ends. We know that's coming up.
No, without a doubt. Of course you are.
And so how much longer, just because you made the 53, could a guy like Johnson, could a guy like Will Richardson eventually be cut from a numbers standpoint? I think so.
Of course. And I think, those conversations will come up just because if you are first in the waiver wire, you got to make a move. So you will make a move. You will claim somebody. And, yeah, I think the way that it sits on offense, I think Will Richardson or Colin Johnson would probably be the first guys that would be let go in that situation.
If you think about their receivers, one more thought on that before we go to the defense. Farrell, Cooper, Dorsett. Again, the reason why I'm not sure this regime's going to love Johnson is because of the speed element. Yeah, he's different from his 6'6", but what they want to be different from is speed.
Yeah.
Right? And they lost ETN, so you lost speed. And so now don't you need speed? And this is what, if the focal point of the offense coming in is something you don't have as big playability and speed, well, again, does Dorsett and Cooper, and do they offer you that? Well, maybe. DJ has a little bit of that. Laviska's not a speed guy. Marvin Jones, he can get down the field, but he's not going to, outrun everybody. Josh Hammond is interesting, too. I think he's had a terrific camp. I don't think anybody will pick him up. I think he could end up back on the practice squad. Mm-hmm. He's been really good. But, again, he doesn't give you something that nobody else is giving you. You got to offer something different. The one thing Colin Johnson offers is height.
Yep.
And that's a guy who can go up and get the ball. Have we seen enough? It's a big question. All right, defensive lineman. And this is two separate because of this 3-4 kind of defense. Mm-hmm. You've got the interior, and then you've got your edge guys.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So interior, Devon Hamilton.
Yes.
Jihad Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Robertson Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Tufele, the draft pick.
Yep.
Malcolm Brown, who you traded for.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Gotsis.
Yeah, I have him staying. Yep.
So that's 6.
Yep.
Am I missing somebody?
Taven
Bryan.
I think they at least keep 7.
So you think he makes it?
Yeah, if you're talking about a 3-4 defense, sometimes teams will keep 7, sometimes teams will keep 8. I have them keeping 7, and I think Taven Bryan makes the team.
I think it comes down to, in that regard, a guy like Doug Costin, who played pretty good last year.
Yeah.
And I think they like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good player, a pretty good player.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talks about him. He's a pretty good player. And probably Taven Bryan. Now, sleepy in all this conversation is a guy like Daniel Equale, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Ukulele sounds like fun to say.
No, it does. And I think, Adam Gotsis, too, could be an odd man. Because he hasn't, he was one of my bold predictions saying he's going to be a starter on this defense, and I was way off on that. But I still think he's done enough in past experience of what he can do, the versatility where he's going to be on this team.
And see, they reinvested in him. They brought him back. This regime brought him back.
Correct.
And so I think they like what he does. And if you're trying to stop the run, he's a stop-the-run kind of guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't bring you too much outside of that. Mm-hmm. But I think Gotsis from a vet, again, you've had so many young guys. You're revamping that defense. You need a little of that veteran savvy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he seems to me like he's a Joe Cullen guy in that respect.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So edge-wise, you got Josh Allen, Caleb Von Chason, Jordan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
We put DeJuan Smoot on the edge.
Yep.
Right? He can move around, but we put him on the edge.
Yeah, that's primarily where he's made his home in the preseason, so I count him as an edge guy.
Okay. And then Lorente McCray, big special teams guy.
Yeah, I have McCray staying.
So, that's pretty easy, right?
Jihad Ward? Yeah, you said Ward, right?
Yeah, but actually, I'd put Ward in the I probably should have put him on the outside.
I have him outside, yeah.
Yeah, because I think I initially put him on the inside. So it depends how you want to break that group up.
Yep. So I have them keeping 6 edge guys.
Yeah, and that would be Ward on the outside in that regard. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. And the edge guys.
Yeah.
So
now it's getting a little tricky, though.
What, the linebackers?
No, the secondary.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go linebackers first. Miles Jack.
Yes.
You've got Damian Wilson.
Yeah.
And is this kind of easy, really? Is it? They love Shaq Quarterman.
Yep.
And I think it's Dakota Allen. I'm going to tell you why I think it's Dakota Allen. I think special teams, again, wins the day. So much so, Austin, I don't remember. I was looking on the sideline a bunch, and I saw Dakota Allen with, his helmet off. I think he's already on the team.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those times where it's like, hey, he's not really going out there much. I don't think he played much at all last night, if any. And if he did, it was for a short time. So I think they really like Dakota Allen.
Yep.
in the special teams area. I'll tell you what, I know for a fact they like Chappelle Russell and what he's been able to do. They thought there was great competition there, but maybe he's a guy that ends up on a practice squad. So that means Quincy Williams is a guy that's left out because we have 4 linebackers on the roster.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's making the team, unfortunately. Which,
So
obviously, that sucks.
I saw him miss a couple tackles again yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Just never really has settled in and been consistent. All right, so here we go. Defensive backs.
Yep. Now we're getting a little tricky because the way this whole thing shakes out is that you're going to cut a pretty good defensive back, I think. Usually you keep 5. Sometimes you keep 6. I mean, the way this is shaken out here, Brent, I'd probably have to only keep 4, which doesn't bode well for me. Because the way I did this, I started with the offense, and then I went with the defense. Technically, if I wanted to cut Richardson, if I want to get rid of him, then I could keep 5 corners, which I very well could do. But for the sake of this drill right here, I think Sidney Jones is the odd man out.
You know what? That's an interesting thought. I've been a huge Sidney Jones guy. I think he's had an unbelievable camp. And then I really feel like the last couple of games he has not been that good. Not been good. And I think it could cost him. Hey, Casey, we got to take a break. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll finish up the secondary, complete the 53-man roster. But that secondary has some good conversation. How many safeties are you keeping? What about Jared Wilson? Is he a part of this football team going forward? And you just said it, Sidney Jones, do you rely on some of his game tape from last year that looked good, some of the early camp stuff, or did he lose a roster spot in the last couple of weeks? It's a good conversation. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. The final 53 for the Jags. They'll have to name it by 4 o'clock tomorrow. We name it today.
You know you want to buy a boat, and now is the perfect time to buy a boat. Why? Because 1-to-1 Financial Credit Union has slashed its boat loan rates again. We're literally the only place in town that lets you finance up to 100% of your new or used boat, and you don't even have to make payments for 60 days. Come on, there's never been a better time to buy a boat. And do it smart with an amazing boat loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. You want to buy a boat?
Hey, boss. Just got done with Case in Neighborhoods. Hey, have you noticed more Safe Touch security signs in yards lately?
No, I'll bet it's because of back to school.
Back to school?
Yeah. See, back in the old days, parents who worked in the afternoon had no idea when Junior got home from school, right?
Yeah. Oh, but now with Safe Touch, the app lets him know exactly when he walks in the door.
Right. Parents love it. And Safe Touch video monitoring can show him exactly who the precious angel is walking in with.
Oh, I get it. Safe Touch is like an extra pair of eyes for mom and dad.
Right. So the kids are never home alone.
And parents are never away from home.
Precisely. It's also one more reason why we crooks got our golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Simple as 2 + 2.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Progressive's Home and Auto Bundle Extrava Festa Save-a-thon, the annual year-long event for saving big on home and auto insurance. These savings are available up until and straight through Labor Day, Halloween, Grover Cleveland's birthday, Taco Tuesday, the anniversary of the moon landing, White Chocolate Day. The sale literally never ends. You can come on Jupiter's Ascension, National Pisces Day, but not Leap Day. Just kidding. We're doing Leap Day because every day is perfect for saving money with a home and auto bundle only at Progressive. But for real, we're not doing White Chocolate Day because white chocolate is gross. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Seems like a no-brainer to me. If you install it, you ought to be able to service it. But for gas-fired water heaters, there are a whole lot of plumbing companies that can't and won't service them, even though they're happy to install them. Now, just think about that. They don't have the expertise to work with gas, but they're installing a gas unit. Does that seem like a good idea to you? Seems like a recipe for turd buckets to me. you might as well have Acme parachute that water heater in and have the Coyote install it. At Griffin Service, not only are we the same-day water heater specialists, we're also the gas-fired water heater kings. And that goes for both tank and tankless units. And naturally, we're certified to service and install them, because we fix what others can't. Plus, we have water heaters in stock and ready to roll same day. So if your gas water heater needs service or replacement, or you're thinking of switching to a gas-fired water heater, it's kind of a no-brainer on who you should call, isn't it?
GriffinService.com.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. You know, it's one interesting thing about all these cuts and trying to do the final 53. You know, what they have and they've tried to keep track of is the winners and losers and really grading everything out. It'd be interesting to see how they grade out stuff, right? Is there an offensive lineman that's sleepy here that we're missing? You know, especially since the backup offensive lineman got a lot of chances to play. You know, is there a receiver that, you know, we might have cut or a guy in the secondary that we may cut and they'll be like, well, he's won like every one-on-one there is, you know? Yeah. And again, we will probably put even more emphasis than they will, I would think, on the preseason games.
No, absolutely.
Right? Because there's all these practices to grade as well.
Yep, for sure.
So I think that's what's a little bit different than the outside folks like us trying to do team. And then special teams comes into play. So we're at defensive backs. And we got safeties, Rayshawn Jenkins, Rudy Ford. We also have Andre Sisco. And so now it comes down to, in our opinion, guys like Josh Jones, Daniel Thomas, Sidney Jones. Josh Jones was running with the ones a lot of August.
Yes.
Okay? Daniel Thomas is a guy that I liked a lot last year. I thought he did some good things before he got hurt. Did I just say Sidney Jones? I didn't mean Sidney Jones in the safety spot. Sorry.
No. You said Josh Jones.
I did. Okay. So Josh Jones and Daniel Thomas.
Yeah, you're right.
Those guys. Oh, Jared Wilson is the other one.
Yes.
Could he be on the bubble? So we kind of like Jared Wilson here.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I think Jared Wilson, in terms of experience, in terms of being a mentor for the younger guys, I think Jared Wilson is that guy. So I think he makes the team.
The thing about it is, do you go with Jared Wilson, who's been there for 5 years, you know, as a veteran player, or do you go with Daniel Thomas in the upside of that?
Yeah.
That you just drafted last year? Or do you try to sneak him in on, you know, through the waiver, which you could?
See, to me, I think that the way the roster's shaking out, I think you keep 4 safeties. I think either Daniel Thomas or Rudy Ford are going to be the odd man out, in my opinion.
Well, Rudy Ford's not getting cut.
Okay, then Daniel Thomas.
Because they for special teams. They love
him. I know, yep.
So Rudy Ford, and he's played way more in the secondary than I thought he would.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page keeping Jared Wilson. But what I lose a little sleep over mostly is Daniel Thomas.
No, I mean, and you could very well keep 5 safeties. Like, that's pretty standard, actually.
All right, well, so let's go. Let's see if we need to add there or in another spot.
Okay.
The corner spot, we have C.J. Henderson, Shaq. There's I'm not going to say his name yet. Hold on. Tyson Campbell, Trey Herndon. Who am I missing?
Sidney Jones. Well, Sidney Jones, Chris Claybrooks.
So that's where this comes down to. Sidney Jones.
No, Claybrooks, I think, has got hurt.
Chris Claybrooks. He was hurt a little bit, but he was okay.
Okay.
And it's really interesting to watch Claybrooks yesterday. He got hit. He got like a knee to the hip.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was watching because he tried to go right back in the game after seeing the doc and everything. And then it was like he didn't go because the series was over. And then he was getting worked on. And then he was still trying to work out. But it really showed a lot to me. Like, this is a guy that knows he's on the bubble, and he's trying to get back in there and go make a play. And it shows you the dire nature of this time of year for a lot of these players. I think Chris Claybrooks could be on the chopping block here.
I agree with that as well. Yes.
So it really comes down to Sidney Jones.
Yep.
I got 8 guys right now. So here's the 3. You got to pick one. Daniel Thomas, Sidney Jones, Josh Jones, Chris Claybrooks.
Daniel Thomas.
Oh, I got another one for you. Andrew Wingard.
Daniel Thomas. I don't think Wingard's going to make the team.
You don't? I would vote for Daniel Thomas in that, too. Josh Jones also is another guy. It looked like he might have got dinged up a little bit yesterday. But, again, he was running with the ones. Did they really like him? Did they already have him on the team? Could he be the odd man out? It's interesting with Josh Jones based on what we've seen in practice and how much he's been running out there. But I'm kind of with you, man. I like Daniel Thomas, too. I saw enough out of him. I feel like if you give up on Daniel Thomas, he's a guy that burns you down the road.
Yeah.
You know, like Caldwell and Philadelphia are going to go pick up Daniel Thomas.
Of course.
The second he's on the street.
Yep.
And I wonder if that...
He'd probably be a Pro Bowler then.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And I don't know if he's going to be that good.
No,
I don't want to oversell it.
I know.
But I do think that's the danger zone of it. All right. So here's what we got. I just circled Daniel Thomas.
What do we have, like 60 guys this roster now?
No, this is it.
Did we do it?
We did it. It really comes down to we kept 9 offensive linemen. I come on with you with Colin Johnson on the receivers.
Good to have you on the team, Brent.
To keep 7 for now, although I just don't know if that's going to stay. 3 tight ends. But here's who we cut. Guys like Treadwell, Jalen Camp, Josh Hammond, Jake Luton, Ellison, Doug Costin, Aquale, Quincy Williams, Sidney Jones, Josh Jones. Anybody else on here that we cut? And we're doing a lot of that, by the way, to keep guys like Jordan Smith, who really is not going to help you this year.
No, but I mean,
but you got to keep him on the roster.
Rookie.
That's why Jalen Camp, you could argue, do you keep him instead of somebody else?
But I just think that no one's going to go after him in terms of, if he's in the practice squad.
All right. Well, we'll tweet out our 53-man roster just so you can get – there's a lot to follow along. But overall, this probably is not that hard of a cut for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The hard news hey, congratulations, you made the team. And within 24 hours, you might get cut because the waiver wire might be busy.
But that's going to happen. I mean, very rarely. I think it's never happened in history where you have the first dibs of the waiver wire and you don't capitalize on that. Like, they will.
Yeah.
You have to.
All right. Cuts are coming tomorrow at 4. We'll catch you on TV tonight, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Back at it tomorrow afternoon at 3. Hey, don't forget, 3 weeks away from the Dream 18 golf tournament brought to you by Cadillac. Check it out, ActionSportsJacksDream18.com. Love to have you a part of it. Just a few spots remaining, though. 3 weeks from today at the golf club at Southampton. Hope you have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow on ESPN 690.
Summer is in full swing, and